We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record. Yeah, we keep it real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on. We talk that talk in our own way. Off the record. Minion the God, let's go. Foxy 2 Roxy 3, she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard. Lizzy with the facts she never miss. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzy drop a cease, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. This the realest show you ever saw. Off the record. We said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. Yeah. We said what we said. Off the record.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. It is off the record, guys. We are back. I know you guys been asking, so guess what? It's been a while, and we're back with the jump off, in the words of Lil Kim. And I got my two live crew. We got Foxy, Queen Lizzy, and I said what I said. What's up, ladies?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? And welcome to the show.
What's up?
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
All right. So I guess before we get into the show, y'all know how we do it. We gonna give y'all a few shout outs, but yeah, we got a few animations. So since we doing a new re-debut, we got a few animations going on. And guys, if y'all want to be in the parade down at the bottom, if y'all have been on my channel, y'all know what to do. But if you want to be in the parade, go ahead and in the chat type a exclamation point and join. And we will see you guys in the parade down there at the bottom. It'll choose you whatever kind of emoji it decides it wants to choose. And happy Halloween. Look, the first one was a ghost. Look at that. All right. Well, we have a really big show planned, right? I said what I said.
Yes, Minion, we do. We have a lot to discuss tonight. And I hope you guys enjoyed our new intro video because I was totally excited about that. Y'all know Minion have all the talent. And so I just want to say shout out to Minion for making this great video for us. But
Oh,
yeah, we have a lot to cover tonight. Lots and lots to cover.
all right. Well, I guess we can start off by, like I said, shouting everybody out in the comment section. So if you want to speak to us, please do so. Go ahead and speak to us. We're gonna go ahead and shout you guys out. I said what I said. Do you want to do the honors?
Sure, I can shout everybody out. Let me go up to the top here. So I will make sure that I don't miss anybody. And let's see, all of us. Uh, hey, Ramona, happy Friday to you, sis. Thanks for being here today. And we have um, young Riaz. Thanks for being here tonight, sir. Thanks. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. I love me. 567. Miss Mad About Music. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to you, sis. Thanks for being here tonight. And we have Chocolate Drop. Welcome in. Happy Friday. We have Sheena B 62. Happy Friday to you. Welcome, welcome. We have Miss Smart. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday.
What's
And
going on?
and we have a Brill. Happy Friday to you, sis. And welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I think that's everybody besides, okay, here's one. Hydro Quebec. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I see y'all in the chat. Thank y'all for being here. Happy Halloween. You know, we was thinking about putting some costumes on, but we're
Uh,
already some characters right now, so we said, you
right.
know.
And we got Dave Bryson. Happy Halloween and happy Friday to you, Dave. Thank you for joining us tonight as well.
What's good, Dave?
Hi, Dave.
All right, thank you guys
Hey,
for speaking. We appreciate y'all speaking in the chat. All right, so we know that y'all are here for all the drama, the political drama. There's a lot of stuff going on in America. Is this is y'all? It's a ish show. America is like a laughing stock. I'm pretty sure to all the countries around the world, but we're gonna talk about it today, guys, and we're gonna start off with our vice president. Okay, you guys may have a lot of different nicknames for him, but we're gonna call him Smoky Eye Sociopath JD Vance, like our friends from iHip Radio or podcast. We're gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and we're gonna do a reaction to one of the videos that they just came out with. I don't know. I said what I said if I before I put it on. If you want to give a little background to the video or
Sure, Minion. So this video is about what you call him, Smokey?
Smoky Eye Sociopath.
The smoky eye sociopath, as Minion call him. I like that name, Minion, too. Okay.
That's what the iHip ladies call them. So
Yeah, well, I would just call him Smoky Eyes, and we call him Smoky Eyes because y'all know he be having that eyeliner on. He have more eyeliner on than some of you women in the chat, and he already have the lashes, but he do put mascara on the lashes also. So that's why we calling him Smoky Eye. But basically, the video is about him and Erica Kirk, and Erica Kirk is Charlie Kirk's widower, and as you guys know, Charlie Kirk was taken out. What was that, last month?
yeah.
The news happened so fast. It seemed like it was, years ago, but probably within the last month or so, he was taken out. And so his wife is acting really weird since he's passed away, right? First, I saw her hugged up with Trump. And now her and her and Smokey Eye is at this convention, at a Republican convention. And they're just a little bit too close for comfort for me. So that's what the video is really about.
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and let's see and let's get into the mess, and we'll bring come back on the other side with our reactions. Okay.
Okay, on the foothills of failed drag queen, smoky eye sociopath, vice president of the United States, who's changed his name 3 times. Of course, I'm talking about JD Vance, whom we refer to as Little Smoky. On the foothills of him not really standing up for his wife and talking about how he hopes she changes her religion. Some weird shit is happening at the CPAC stuff with Erica Kirk and failed drag queen Lil Smokey. Play the clip.
Never replace my husband.
No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do. And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight because
First off, why does she? What is going on with this look in her eyes as she's talking about him? It,
Well, that's what social media want to know. Why is she so um
it's
what you
like
call
she's
it?
in a trance, like she's
Yeah,
just
fuzzy.
sitting there, like
It reminds you of the Stafford wives.
Yeah, like
yeah.
you can see the admiration in her eyes.
Yes, the love, baby, the love.
The lust, the lust. One night of ecstasy.
Oh my God, let's just keep watching. This is too funny.
he understands the fight that we're up against. And he can articulate that in a way that transcends. He's an amazing man.
Okay. I'm kind of speechless about a lot of this, all of it. But here are the photographs that ensued of the
Oh my God, what is going on here?
Makes
Ooh,
me wonder why old Charlie had to exit out early, you know?
Oh
It
my.
it yeah, it looks kind of suspicious, don't it?
Exit stage left.
Oh
look
my
how
God.
she's holding the back of his
In
head.
his head, yes. See, you took it out of my mouth. Look at how she's holding the back of his head. That is her man.
Yeah, but she was nestled all in Agent Orange's chest when, at the funeral. So maybe she just over affectionate. I don't know, but it just don't, it doesn't look right.
After that speech and then doing that with the head and the way she looking up at him, standing there. You know how you look at the couples and it's like, I see you, I'm so in love with you. The look she looking at him. And I'm like, that don't look too cool, my sister.
Yeah. Let's keep watching, see what they have to say, because this is insane that nobody has actually even talked about this, and I didn't even really realize this was even a story. So,
speech that she gave. So we have him first of all grabbing her waist, and then she's hugging him. She's like, I mean, she's got the head, you guys. It looks so romantic. It's beyond the normal like meet and greet. Um, so this is really, really bizarre to me. And it's interesting that throughout this entire situation with Charlie Kirk, nobody has talked about how preventable his death was. Nobody on the right is talking about gun control. He was shot in cold blood on a campus where guns should be banned, and by somebody we think allegedly radicalized online to the right or to the left, who knows? Because I haven't seen any evidence to the contrary, and all I've seen is a gag order from the Trump administration. But instead, they're still like trotting out all of this stuff. And she says JD Vance understands the fight that they're up against. And I don't even know what that is. Is the fight they're up against the libs? Is that what it is? Is it to make America a Christian nationalist nation?
I know, I mean, that is kind of what is the fight that they're up against? Do y'all know?
I think it's the fight from being in the bed with him.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, that's all I see.
Well, I feel like she's talking about the fight for the Republicans to basically take charge of the country and to stay in charge is what I feel like she think the fight is, because they're always trying to fight the Democrats, and they feel like we're the enemy because they don't like the policies that we like to push. And so I feel like that's what she's talking about the fight, when it's really not a fight at all. Basically, whoever's in charge, that's who basically get what they want. So I don't know. Maybe that's what she's talking about.
Beyond that, though, do you think that there is a movement amongst the elite and these billionaire class white nationalists to try to push for, I think they're scared that they are not going to be the majority anymore, and I think that they're pushing for policies and a way to kind of push that agenda. What do you guys think? Is that a little extreme, or
Yeah, Shelly C said it just perfectly fine. She said it's a fight.
can we put it up on the screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I'm a little bit behind on the comments, but yeah, the fight to change from democracy to dictatorship.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's the fight.
that's perfectly said.
Bingo.
That's the fight. All right, let's keep watching. And I'm also trying to do a pause every so often, so y'all know what it is.
For all of the women in America to be like Stepford wives like that, I just think the whole thing is weird as shit. And I just want to say, can you imagine the freak out that would happen if Kamala Harris introduced Gavin Newsom like that and then hugged him like that? I mean, this was the political party that said that she slept her way to the top and all of these sexist, misogynist things. This woman's husband was just killed. And then that just happened. And it's just weird as shit. And it's the family values party and all of this stuff, the pro-life party, yet nobody can talk about gun control. I just thought that was eyebrow raising, to say the least. And the fact that JD Vance continues to be in the forefront of the MAGA movement tells you that they all are realizing that the strong man, Kanks, is a frail, senile man, and everybody is looking beyond his rule. And a lot of them are looking to JD Vance as the heir apparent, and a lot of the others are looking into Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson. So the fissures in the MAGA movement are massive. Okay. In the last 24, 48 hours, I noticed on my Instagram, a lot of people tell me I was ugly. A lot of people tell me they wish I would die, all of these things. So I text Kylie, our producer, and I'm like, Kylie, am I going viral somewhere? Because people are, it's every time Fox News features me, this happens. And so there was a clip that I showed you all on iHub News about
Can't hear you, Minion.
We can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. First off, I should have done this at the beginning of the clip, guys. I love these women right here. If you guys have not done so already, please make sure that you go subscribe to iHip Podcast. It's basically stands for what I've had it podcast, and she has a co-host. What's her co-host's name? I forgot her co-host's name, but they are hilarious and they're very honest and truthful. So if you guys haven't done so, take some time and go look at up their channel and give them a subscribe and take a look at their content. You probably will like it a lot.
Yeah, and the name of their channel is I've Had Enough. That's what the acronyms stand for. But yeah, they are. I love to hear these ladies talk. They normally speak the truth about what's going on, and they don't hold anything back when they're speaking about this administration. So I really love their show.
And their upbringing. The other lady, I don't know why her name escapes me right now.
Me too. She call it Chubs or something like
Yeah,
that.
like something like
Yeah,
that.
she has a nickname for. I forgot what she calls it as a nickname, but I'll figure it out. I'll get it.
But she talks about her upbringing in a white, community where a lot of the families, believe it or not, they have this unspoken thing where it's a hierarchy where they, you know, look down on people that aren't white nationalist Christians. So
a boomer at, I believe it was a No Kings rally, and this Christian influencer, provocateur goes and asks her if she's upset that Charlie Kirk is dead. And she says, no, she's not. And that's her right. She doesn't have to be upset that a racist is dead, that a misogynist is dead, that a homophobe is dead. And then the Christian influencer is so triggered. She's like, well, would you be upset if I was dead? And the lady's like, well, I'd have to think about it. And the fuck your feelings crowd is so in their feelings. I laughed at this and I said, listen up, Democratic establishment. This is where the base is at right now. Of course, MAGA has stage 5 meltdowns, think that I want to kill conservatives. They think that I want to kill Democrats because they don't recognize that people on the left are capable of criticizing their own party. And I want to be very clear to all of the MAGA people. I don't want you dead. I want you to have health care. I want you to get a livable wage. I don't want you to work your ass off your whole life to then file medical bankruptcy while the billionaires never fly commercial. They never get their flights canceled.
Is she just gonna be defending herself throughout the rest of the, or is there another part that?
Yeah, I think Charlemagne the God, she's going to show a little bit of
Oh,
that, and Chuck Schumer. So if you want to fast forward it, you can. And her partner name is Pomps. Remember, she called him
pumps,
Pomps. Yeah,
pumps.
Pomps. Yeah,
That
and I put their I put their channel in the chat also if anybody wants to subscribe to their channel.
And what she is saying is, she brings up a good point. I mean, it's so funny because when it comes to Democrats versus Republicans, the moment that a Democrat says anything, you know, opposing to a Republican, they always are labeled as like extreme left lunatics, and I don't know. It's just they're crazy.
And they don't have to pay taxes because this administration has raised them on you. I want to live in a country where piece of shit MAGA influencers like Charlie Kirk don't get shot. I don't want to see anybody die of gun violence. Period. I don't want Charlie Kirk to be dead because his death was avoidable, but it is a real window into the soul of MAGA that you refuse to talk about the ways to fix this problem. After the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan, there was a huge push for gun restriction in the country from the Republicans. That meant something to them, but not from the right. So whatever, call me ugly, come after me. I don't want you dead. I want your life to be better, even though I fundamentally disagree with all of the stuff that you all do. And this is the same point that Charlemagne the God is making right here, that I made in the clip that now everybody's, trigger city about. And it is that the Democratic establishment is failing us. They are failing us miserably. And of course, I'm talking about Chuckles and AIPAC Shakur, Hakeem Jeffries. And let's just hear a little bit of Charlemagne the God on The Daily Show.
Should be focused on is picking exciting new candidates. What you got?
Maine Governor Janet Mills has launched a bid for Senate. The 77-year-old was heavily recruited by Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to join the race.
If Mills wins, she would be the oldest freshman senator in U.S. history.
Damn. This is the new candidate, okay? She shouldn't be running for Senate. She should be throwing her Titanic necklace back into the ocean, okay?
Damn.
You know what? You know what?
Titanic necklace back in the ocean.
Yeah, she's 77 and running. And I saw her on a clip, and she was saying that her constituents want her to run because they don't like the senator that they have right now because he's MAGA. And so, but did you hear what she said? Chuck Schumer is pushing for her to run. And why? If you're 77, why are you even thinking about Congress? You should be trying to put your nieces or nephews up to run for Congress and prop them up.
Yeah,
And I wholeheartedly agree with them. The Democratic Party is failing us. They won't retire. They stay there until they almost, is in the ground. And it's a problem with the Republicans also. Nobody want to, when people get to Congress, they don't want to retire. And so that's why my country really can't move forward. And a lot of the things that's going on is we can't move forward because we have too many old people. And there's nothing against seniors because hell, I'm getting old at the end of the day. But you need some young fresh blood in the Congress so that they can bring new ideals and we can move the country forward, and we won't have so many biased laws because young people don't think like old people do. All of these people that's in the Congress right now, a lot of them, everybody that's 60 and over, well, they were in the Jim Crow days. Okay, think
Hmm.
about that. They were in the 60s, the 50s, and in the 40s. Even some of them were born in the 40s, and so they're too old and they're too stuck in their own ideology, and they're too old to move around and to bring up new ideas. And so I feel like that's part of the problem that we're having in America right today.
And I totally agree with that. Honestly, if we could get some fresh faces and younger, below 40, I would not say 40, but at least 55 and younger, just to bring some fresh ideas and spark, just different ideas that aren't stuck. Because, like you said, there are a lot of the older people, so they're more stuck in their ways. They're not, going to be innovative to new ideas. They're going to just see old policies and, continue with that. But when you have, fresh young people, they're typically able to innovate and come up with new things that most older people aren't even going to think about.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, some of these people can't even run their own social media. I guarantee you, most of these people in Congress have the young staffers running their social media page for them, and a lot of them can't even, they probably can't even share out a story, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't think that's I don't think we should use that as a measurement because I'm pretty sure Jasmine Crockett has people managing her social medias as well. But I do agree with the fact that at a certain point, your ideas are stuck in the past, and we have to move forward. So I do agree. We do need fresh faces. Do you guys want to look and see? Let's see what the chat is saying over here. I see Sheena B says specifically white supremacists. Maybe that's part of or vanilla cream supremacy. Okay. And what's good, Mr. LC to you? I see that you came through and joined the parade. Guys, remember if you want to join the parade, all you gotta do is press or type in the chat field exclamation point join and you can be in the parade as well. And let's see what's good with life with Tasharia. What's good, life with Tasharia? Thanks for joining the chat. We also have Shelly C saying his expectation, I believe, to change the Constitution to have a president to have unlimited terms. Okay. Um,
That's
I
very
know I'm taking your
impossible.
job. I know I'm taking your job. I said what I said, so if you want to take over, I'm sorry, but I did want to
No,
kind.
go for it. Go for it. Go ahead.
Okay.
You good?
Aristocrats was good. Stepford Wives would be a good movie to watch for tonight for Halloween. Both visions. Okay. All right, and then we also have. Let's see who else. What else we got up in here? Sorry guys, I'm trying to move through the chat. Okay, you guys are just speaking, and then we also have Tashiri. Okay. All right. All right. Well, let's keep it moving.
Well, Shelley C has a question.
What's the question?
She said, "What are some of the ideas we need for Congress that you guys feel like would be better?"
Well, I do think that, I mean, one of the ideas I think, of course, would be fresher faces and not having it to where people can just stay in for their entire life. I think retirement is a thing for a reason. I think that they should retire at a certain age or should be required to retire.
Well, one ideal I have is to put a limit on Congress, like you're saying, as far as age, on the Supreme Court, and even some of the federal judges. I think we should have new laws about that. I think we should I think we should even the Supreme Court out. So add some more people to the Supreme Court so it can be a more level playing field instead of your team get this. Even the way that we pick the judges, it shouldn't be that
I think that's how I can say that.
yeah, it shouldn't be that your team get whatever Supreme Court justice they want and my team get whatever Supreme Court justice we want. I think it should be a different formula that they use so that you ensure that you're getting somebody that's going to represent the country and not represent the party. So that's another ideal I feel like that they should utilize. And also too, like Gavin Newsom, he's whenever Agent Orange is playing a game, well, Gavin Newsom is trolling him at his own game, and I just feel like younger people will be able to handle the other side more efficiency because right now, the Democrats and I am a Democrat, so it's not like I'm just raining on their parade, right? But the Democrats, in my opinion, they're too busy trying to be college educated and dotting the I's and crossing the T's instead of putting the fight up to, where the American public need to fight. And also, let's go ahead and update minimum wage because minimum wage has been $7.25 for the last 20 years. And so, and then I also feel like we should update the Civil Rights Act and enact that as well. And we should put limits on the president. He shouldn't be able to just rule by executive order. So those are some of the ideas that I have. And I can go on and on and on, but we'll go ahead and finish with the video. Since
And I completely
as
agree.
y'all can tell, I got a lot of complaints.
And I
Well,
completely agree.
well, that's what we're doing this show for, so we can all kind of learn. And I think that another thing is that younger people aren't as interested in the politics as older people are. So I think if we get younger people, fresher faces in politics, it'll kind of uh open it up to an audience that otherwise probably wouldn't even care about what's going on. So
Yeah, and I agree with her also with chocolate drop. You're gonna shut down the government, then shut down your pay also because you're not paying the American worker that works for the government. So a lot of the workers are not getting paid right now. So if you decide that you need to, shut down the government, well, go ahead and shut it down, but shut your pay down also. And then also, I feel like Congress, just like your job. You can't take a month off of your job because you just want to or because you don't want to deal with something. I think Congress ought to have the same rules and regulations. This should be a certain amount of days that they have to work, just like you have to work on your job, and they only give you maybe 2 to 3 weeks vacation.
I completely agree with that also because if you think about it as well, I think that there should be a little bit of younger faces, yes, of course, in Congress. And I think they should be limited to like a 2 terms before, they got to go. But I also think that it should be like an age limit, not an age limit, but more so of an age what would you say like a
Cap,
baseline,
cap.
yeah, like a
cap
cap.
them off. Yeah, cap them off.
Yeah, but like a baseline age, like a minimum age
Hey,
for
Lizzy,
Congress
if you can
too.
get a Social Security check, you need to go home.
You need to go home. That's what I'm saying. Like, and it's only 2 terms. I feel like just for any job, Senate, anything. I just think that it needs to be a 2 term limit because them retiring there honestly isn't helping anybody. And then it's not doing the people any good. It's only feeding politics. But when you see younger, fresher faces come in, they're more of a whole and not for the party, but more for like the people as a whole.
Well, let me
And
let me push back on that a little bit, Lizzie. I don't think we should just give them 2 terms. I think we should just cap them off at age because if you start doing just 2 terms, then we would have too many changes. You know what I mean? And it sometimes it the it's just like the rules of justice. It takes the justice a long time to come forward, right? And same thing with our country. Whenever they approve a bill just like that big beautiful bill, it's not gonna be implemented until next year. So sometimes it takes time to get things pushed out or what have you. So I just feel like if you go in at a young age and you stop when you get Social Security age, that's giving you time enough to get some changes made, because I feel like if you just do 2 terms, then we'll always constantly be changing and we can't get to a norm. What do you guys think about that?
That's
I
true, but
I
you can't do
agree, but I
anything
think that there
with
needs to be a recert. I think like there should probably be a recertification um requirement or something where you can hold these people accountable because they can go into office at a young age, leave at an old age, and still not have done anything for
That's
their
true.
constituents. So I think there needs to be some type of um, maybe a certification process or recertification after a certain amount of time where it measures, what you've done while you've been in office.
Kind of like a quota.
Yes,
You don't do anything, you need to go. You don't write any
Right.
yes.
bills, you need to go.
Absolutely.
And I think too that the age also, there should be a minimum age. Like the president, you have to be at least 35 years old to run for president. I think for Congress it should be something similar as well, because you don't want someone too young, as there's whereas corruption comes in. So younger people are typically more subs, more easy. I don't know how I want to say it, but they're easy to be corrupted.
Yeah.
So it's just so many barriers.
And I think cuz I see Chocolate Drop also said that obviously in disagreement of what I said, she said that no sir, there are a lot of young folks who are tuned into politics. Actually, I believe no, keep stay up. I believe they're more vested now um, than ever before. Folks are waking up to the BS because it's affecting everyone. I think that is true, but that's because of the current situation that we're faced with. I don't think it's because politics is a fun thing that that young people are interested in. I think we've been forced to take notice of what's been going on due
Due to
to the
circumstances.
circumstances, right?
Yeah, due to circumstances. Because honestly, would I be watching politics? Well, I probably would because of my mom. But would I be watching politics if it wasn't for some of the certain circumstances that are going on right now with JD Vance, President Trump? Probably not.
It's like a reality TV show, actually, to be honest.
It is. And it's super interesting.
So I think that's definitely playing a part, but politics shouldn't be a reality TV show. You know, this isn't how politics should be ran.
And don't you think that the president should have a at least a bachelor's degree to be the president?
I do too. I've always believed that, because I just think that I think it's because of, maybe we have Agent
I
Orange's financial status, the reason why he's where he's at. But I just think that in order to hold any government position, you should have at least a bachelor's degree, including Senate.
I agree because it shows a level of discipline that you know what I'm saying, that you went through. As far as does it take a degree to be successful? Of course not. We all know that, but I guess when it comes to certain positions, yeah, I would agree.
But college, all college is basically like if you're not doing anything like surgery, like being a doctor, or like let's just put business out there. You like, and a lot of people go to school for business or uh, political science or what have you, so on and so forth. Jobs, like you said, that don't need a certain um, experience in. So what college does is just say that you're teachable, and if you go to college, you get a well-rounded view of how the world operate, because you're going to take those in your basic classes. So that's why I say they should at least make it at least a 4 year. You need at least need a bachelor's degree to go to college, in my opinion, because you can't go to any other higher level corporate job without any type of education. So why should the commander in chief be able to bypass that? And I think we ought to do now look like we need to do a damn a criminal background check.
Absolutely. Yes.
No, no, seriously. I think there definitely going to
Seriously.
be some more rules set in place after this administration gets
It
out the
needs to be.
office. So, let's
And
keep
also,
watching. Oh,
I feel that they need to, not as much. I mean, the background check, the age limit, and also I think that they should have some law education, education on the law, because a lot of them are sitting up there and they don't have a clue at certain laws that they need to help govern the United States by. They don't even, some of them don't even know the laws of the Constitution. And I think that's important too, that they need to be, have some level of law to be able to do the job instead of just going in and just flapping lips and doing nothing and don't understand what they're flapping lips about.
Well, the office has a lawyer. If you're president, you have lawyers. It's all a matter of you if you're going to listen to them. Most of the time, the president doesn't make a decision unless he talk. Let's put it like this: in the past, back in the day, the president used to listen to the lawyers, because he have lawyers that follow him around, and they let him know what he can do and what he can't do.
Oh no, I'm
And
not talking about I'm not talking about Orange Man. I'm talking about the
oh,
people
okay,
in
you're talking
Congress.
about Congress.
Yeah, the people in
Oh,
Congress.
okay,
Some of them will sit there and example. Jasmine Crockett said something about a statue within the Constitution, and one of the ladies in Congress was sitting there looking at her, and you could see the birds tweeting in her head because she was sitting there like, I don't understand what they're saying. I don't understand what she's talking about. And she kept asking the question, and the person just kept sitting there looking at her like she was stuck on stupid. And I'm like, okay, and y'all trying to in the house makes the laws. So if she don't know what she needs to do and how to do a law, how you gonna be in Congress to do a law?
Well,
That's why I said we need somebody that has some education about law. I mean, I'm
I
not saying be
agree.
a lawyer, but know something about the law. Some
mm-hmm.
of them are sitting there don't know anything about the law. Then when somebody tell them that they breaking the law, then they sitting there go, oh, I
Well,
can't do that.
I feel like there should just be classes that they have to take. Just like how if
Certification classes.
yeah, certification classes. I mean, you can't get into. I mean, yes, a degree is one thing, but something that's specific to the position that they're going to have to take on, they should have to do some type of certification, and that they should be required to pass it. Um,
All
And
right,
I,
because you
and,
can't
and I,
move up. Uh-oh.
I agree with you, man. They need to have something in regards to the law. I have heard, a couple of the people in the House that tried to present a law for a bill, present a bill, and the bill wasn't even lawful. They threw it out before it even hit the floor because it wasn't written right, and they
and
had no
if you
clue how
have
to
a
do it.
and if you have a criminal background, you cannot present bills on the floor.
That part, that part.
All
And
right.
and also too, to stop some of this corruption. How about all of this stock market mess? Make that a private. You want to privatize everything else? Privatize that also, so that they won't have access to the stock market to know, to do insider trading. Because all of Congress actually have access to the stock market of what company is going to fail and what company is not going to fail because they write the laws for the country, right?
Right.
And so most of them go in there poor, but a lot of them come out with fat pockets. And so I just feel like that part of the government, and if you're gonna, write laws for the stock market or what have you, then you shouldn't be able to participate in the stock market until you get out of Congress or something of that nature. If you don't want to privatize it, if it's no way to privatize it, then how about not allowing Congress to participate in the stock market until they get out of Congress? Because that'll be a big incentive for them to get out. You can rest assured of that.
I agree with you with that. I said what I said because I worked with the federal government. I worked in security at a high level job. We couldn't even have they couldn't even give us, like somebody wanted to give us a gift. We couldn't even get a gift. Somebody said, "Oh, here's a present for you." We couldn't get that. So I'm looking at why I got a high level of security, and I can't even take $5. But you all can go in the stock market and get all this fat money, and I can't even get $5, and I've got a high level of security like you.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and continue watching, guys, because this can be a conversation that we can get deep into. But so we got a lot of videos. This is video one. So let's continue playing it. It's almost finished, and we got 47 seconds left, and then we can move on to the next thing that we're gonna be talking about. So All right.
Forget it. Look at Zoran Mondani, okay? You see? Young, lots of excitement around his campaign, overwhelmingly won the primary. You guys can just endorse him.
Many Democrats in Washington are still hesitant or even against showing support for Mamdani.
All I can tell you is I'm going to continue talking to him.
What's the holdup?
I got to continue talking to him, and that's what I'm going to do.
Is part of the calculus that if you endorse a Democratic socialist, you're worried it will be damaging to your party, maybe even your chances of winning back the Senate?
I'm going to continue talking to him. Dana, you can ask me.
Okay.
All right. So that concludes that clip. And yeah, Zoran Mondani, he's a good example of, when the young people get in office, the younger people start paying attention. And so that's the reason why I think that we definitely need younger people in office.
And you see that they didn't even want to endorse him. Hakeem Jeffries just endorsed him last week, and he was winning the race, and
Yeah.
has been winning the race the whole entire time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a losing battle for them to go against Zoran Mondani at this point. And so he understands that politically it's not going to work in his favor. So, all right, guys. So let's move on. Do you see any comments that we need to address?
Oh, I wasn't even looking at the comments, child. I'm into the conversation.
Uh,
Sitting here just chilling. Let's see if it's in here. If it's anything in here that we need to address.
Hi, Joe. Aristocrats.
You can
We got some.
put them up on the screen, Foxy, if you want to shout them out.
Hello, aristocrats.
Happy Halloween, aristocrats.
Where's she at? I saw.
Mhm. Well, everybody's just having a conversation with us about what we were just saying about the degree, and G Bop says it's very disheartening to know that the schools are so wildly varying the education of our U.S. children. Since the Board of Education is gone, how do we unite the learning experience? You're gonna have to do it at home, basically. The way that they're doing the schools, GBAC, at this point, you're gonna have to teach your kids at home. Whatever the school is not teaching them, you're gonna have to give them the rest of the education. So parents are gonna have to really get heavily involved in their kids' education. Because I don't even think they have civics in class no more. I don't even know if they teach them government anymore. I know they're changing the history up, so you definitely have to educate your kids about the true history and not about the history that's in social media or the history that they want to omit. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
I wanna recognize Thrive and Glow with Joe. She's in here also. Hi.
Yeah, she came into the chat too a while back.
Uh-huh.
Let me find her.
I think we
And
can
Jamie
still.
came into the chat too, Jamie McKnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Halloween to you, Jamie. Happy Halloween to you, Joe, Thriving Global Joe. And you guys, I'm gonna start highlighting your comments. I'll quick. I'm just over here chilling and into the conversation, and so I'll just I'll try to stay up, stay up with the chat. So you can go for your next video, Minion.
all right, guys. So we're going to get into what's going on now. I know you guys have all I know everyone and their mom has already heard about what's going on with the SNAP benefits. I wish I had my dun 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 sound effect. But yes, so now that the government is closed, the Republicans are trying to use this as an opportunity to blame the Democrats for, the reason why people won't get their SNAP benefits. And now, because they're trying to put pressure on the Democrats to go ahead and open the government up, um, but now what Donald Trump is doing is he has put forward a vote to remove the filibuster. I believe that's what this clip is going to be showing us.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get into it. Right? Okay, let's go ahead and look.
President Trump is calling on Senate Republicans to get rid of the filibuster so they can bypass Democrats, essentially, and reopen the federal government. Trump posted this on social media last night, quote, "Because of the fact that the Democrats have gone stone cold crazy, the choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster." Meanwhile, the Senate has adjourned until Monday with no major breakthroughs. Both sides of the aisle claim they're open to talks, but no apparent progress has been made.
Just want to say to any Democrat in the United States Senate, we are happy to talk about any policy issue. We're happy to talk about health care policy. We're happy to talk about tax policy. We're happy to talk about regulatory policy, but not at the point of a gun.
We've said the same thing over and over and over again. We'll sit down with Republicans anytime, any place, anywhere, in order to reopen the government and act a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people.
CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe starts us off today. Ed, good morning. So what's your sense? Might Republican senators follow Trump's lead on the filibuster? Because they may not always be in the majority.
Not enough of them would do that today, Errol, and it's telling that the president posted this last night after they left town for the weekend. So it allows this concept of trying to do so to fester through the weekend and maybe build up steam, at least on his on the far right and in his base. But, you know, this has been talked about before when neither party's in power, neither party's out of power. And there remains a significant number of senators in both parties who understand that your shoe may be on one foot today, but it'll be on the other one in 2 years or 4 years or 6 years.
All right, so let's see. Oh, what's good? It's crazy. Let's see. And that is true. This is one of the things that I think I wanted to listen to what he's going to say, but that's one of the things that I think a lot of these Republicans aren't taking into consideration the fact that they're not going to be the majority for the rest of their lives. You know what I'm saying? Literally two
Right.
years and the shoes
Well,
on another foot.
and also too, though, Trump is making that statement, but he had a meeting in the Oval Office and he just made a mockery of the Democrats last week when they tried to meet with him. They had another meeting and he didn't even invite them to the meeting a couple of days ago. So all of this that the Republicans are doing, you know, it's all just smoke and mirrors to try to blame the Democrats for the government shutdown. And when in actuality, they have the House, they have the Senate, and they have the presidency. And they want the American public to believe that the Democrats are the ones that's not conforming to them, which they don't want to negotiate. They're saying that they'll talk about any policy, but they just want to do as far as the budget go, they want to open the government. They want to do another continuing resolution and just continue the way that we are and not fund health care. They're trying to get rid of the ACA, which is AKA Obamacare. They're really trying to get rid of that, but they don't have anything in place for it. So that's basically what the fight is really about. It's Obamacare and health care.
True, I agree. That is the main thing. They want to get rid of that, but like you said, they don't have nothing in the place of it. So that means that people have no insurance. So they don't want to go that route. But he wants that because he wants the if it was left up to him, there would be no Democrats whatsoever. It wouldn't even be a Democrat party. It'd be one party, a Trump party.
And the roles would be reversed, and not having the filibuster would be to their detriment. So, look, this is the most substantive engagement we've seen from the president on the issue of whether or not and how to reopen the federal government in days. He's been in Asia. He's been focused on that. He's been quite removed on purpose from trying to figure out a way to reopen the government. And so for him to just do this and suggest that you just got to move the goalposts is certainly one way to engage, but ultimately not going to be what uncorks the impasse between the two sides.
And one of the most immediate impacts of this is you've got 42 million Americans who will effectively lose food assistance benefits tomorrow. So is there any chance the government might just tap into this contingency fund for SNAP, as some have been suggesting?
Well, that's exactly what I tried asking the vice president outside the White House yesterday after he had a meeting with transportation and aviation leaders who are concerned about how all of this is affecting the skies. So what about those that are losing their benefits this weekend? And here's part of what he had to say in response.
This government, this administration, we're like guys running around, with a leak in a damn wall, trying to plug it with bubble gum. And we plug one spot with bubble gum, and we plug another spot with bubble gum, and we plug another spot with bubble gum. Why don't the Democrats just stop this entire charade and reopen the government so that we don't have to try to make this thing work on a shoestring budget?
Not quite a shoestring budget. And the other point is that, previous administrations who've been saddled with a shutdown don't plug it with bubble gum. They just let it run.
And this is my thing. Okay, so he's basically admitting that they do have the ability to make sure that 42 million Americans don't go without SNAP benefits, is what he's saying, but they're choosing not to because they don't want to operate on what he's categorizing as a slim budget or whatever he just said.
Absolutely. They just don't want to, but they can. The government can make a lot of things happen. They just don't want to do. That's the problem. They don't want to.
And the USDA have a surplus of $5 billion.
Right.
It takes $8 billion to run SNAP. So today, a federal judge told them to consider giving reduced benefits versus full benefits, since the USDA have that surplus. So you're absolutely right, Minion and Lizzy. They're doing it because they don't want to do it. And Mike Johnson, who is the House Speaker, said if he give in and cave in to the food stamps, then he won't have any leverage to make the Democrats fall in line. So those was his words.
Exactly. And I was glad that he actually used those words, because I seen exactly what we were talking about, because that's exactly what it is. That's the reason why they don't want to do it, because taking the food stamps away from many Americans who honestly do need it, like that is the way most people feed their children and feed themselves, and especially the retired community and low income. So you taking that away is leverage for them, for the Democrats to, in a sense, fall in line and do what the Republicans want them to do.
Well, that's the reason why they're saying that this is all the Democrats' fault. The reason why you're not going to be able to see food stamps on your card, tomorrow or whenever they come onto your cards is because of the Democrats. When obviously we can see that that's not the case.
Because if they would just fall in line, then you would have your benefits. But they don't want to fall in line, so your benefits aren't coming.
And the thing that gets me is they don't realize the repercussion with the companies, major companies like Costco, um, Giant, Safeway, Food Lion, all these grocery stores and these stores that sell food. That and Walmart, all of them are going to take a big hit because a lot of their around this time of the year, Thanksgiving coming up, this is where they make the most money in the month of November. Thanksgiving and Christmas is where they make the most money because people want to have a Thanksgiving dinner. So they're going to go out and buy turkeys and hams and all this stuff for their festivities, for their large families or whatever, along with keeping themselves fed through the month. So, those places are going to lose a lot of revenue money behind this. So it's not only that, they're hurting the revenue for the United States all a whole.
And they're hurting their own constituency too, because 37% of Caucasians receive food stamps. Only 26% of people of color receive it, and 16% of immigrants receive food stamps. So really, they're hurting their base more than they're hurting anybody, and everybody is hurting when you put all the numbers together. But I propose, even if they give you a reduced amount of food stamps, I propose that let's just skip Thanksgiving and Christmas. Our kids have plenty. Every household, most kids have way more than what they need. And as far as Christmas gifts go, I can't say for I know not all people have everything that they need, but if you're gonna do Christmas, buy your kid one toy, but don't give these these big corporations. Don't spend your money with them either, because they're the reason why people don't have anything right now, because of this big, beautiful, abundance mess of a bill that they put out, and basically all the hard corporations are funded, was behind this bill so that they can keep their money in their pockets and they don't have to pay as many taxes. And so, since you're gonna, you know, uh, put your foot down on the poor people, then I think the poor people should keep their money in their pocket and learn how to conserve their money and wait for days like we're having right now. And don't spend all your money at Christmas time and Thanksgiving. Get the necessities, and I guarantee you they'll understand that, because the only way you change anything is change that dollar bill, because America is all about the Benjamins. So if we keep some of our Benjamins in our pockets, some things may change, because it seemed like that's the only thing that they understand anyway.
I totally agree. They only understand money. If like you said, if you pull back some of that money from them, it's going to hurt them a little bit more than just talking. You can go out here and riot, protest, do whatever. It's not going to hurt them till you start messing with that money.
Yeah, because as soon as the people started protesting and unsubscribing to Disney, Kimmel was back on that. It wasn't even a whole week. Kimmel was back on the air. I think he was off 7 days to be exact.
And
That part.
how much money have Target lost when we boycotted them, and
Oh,
Walmart?
they
Yeah,
lost a lot.
they don't play when you start messing with their pocketbook. So that's
Yeah.
definitely the strategy to
Well, I
break
hope that's
things.
the next March, and I hope that because you have all these organizations that's forming these marches and what have you. So I hope they put that on the agenda also. Keep your money in your pocket.
Hmm. Let's watch the last 30 seconds of this video, and then we can go to the next one. Because then we're gonna start talking about the actual SNAP benefit debacle.
Let things shut down, and that usually forces the two sides back to the table. In this case, the president found ways to pay for the troops, to pay for federal law enforcement, to keep other elements of the government open. So the question was, well, why don't you use those same budgetary authorities to float the roughly 6 to 8 billion you've got at your disposal to cover most of the anticipated 9 billion it'll cost to pay for food for those 42 million people? And you saw the answer there. They're not going to find bubblegum to do that. Errol?
All right, Ed O'Keefe in our Washington bureau. Ed, thanks very much.
All right, well, that was that clip. Let's get into this next clip about SNAP benefits. I don't know what these clips are. You guys, I said what I said was the VIP champ on this show, and she's the one that got our content. So, but you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and play the video. You don't have to even give us an intro.
Day 31 of the government shutdown, that is all of October. And now 42 million Americans are wondering what is going on in Washington. Their SNAP benefits are on the line, food stamps they need to feed their families. There won't be a miracle on Capitol Hill today, tomorrow, or Sunday, as both houses of Congress are gone. The latest news coming from the White House now. President Trump says he wants the Senate to get rid of the filibuster.
So wait a minute. That means that 100% the government is closed down. There's no chance that SNAP benefits are going to be issued, or is there?
Well, like I said, the federal judge, and I've seen even news channels kind of get this mixed up. They're thinking that the federal judge told them that he have to give out USDA, and that's not what the judge said. The judge said that it was unlawful for them to keep the funds and to consider giving a lesser amount, a reduced amount of benefits. But they didn't make a ruling on if he had to or not. So at this point, we're still not sure,
Mm.
in my opinion.
Let's go to the White House now. Our Scripps News White House correspondent Haley Bull is on the North Lawn. And Haley, what exactly did the president say, and what are the implications of the shutdown fight?
Yeah, Adele, well, President Trump is calling for what he calls the nuclear option. Just hours back from his trip to Asia, Trump is calling for Republican leaders to get rid of the filibuster. It's what requires a 60-vote threshold to overcome an objection in the chamber. And while Democrats have historically pursued it and Republicans have typically opposed it and not shown signs they are budging, President Trump claims that this would end the shutdown. He wrote on Truth Social, quote, "If the Democrats ever came back into power, which would be made easier for them if for the Republicans are not using the great strength and policies made available to us by ending the filibuster, the Democrats will exercise their rights, and it will be done in the first day they take office, regardless of whether or not we do it." Now, we are learning new within the past several minutes that Senate Majority Leader Thune's position has not changed. A spokesperson telling our congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed on that matter. The White House, meanwhile, is continuing its messaging, blaming the Democrats for this shutdown. One of the president's top economic advisors saying this a short time ago.
President Trump has mentioned that might be an option. That, frankly, I don't know how long. I think the Democrats might decide to try to keep the government closed until President Trump's out of office. Who knows? There's no sense in what they're doing. Again, it feels like a hissy fit of a 2-year-old. Right. It's completely preposterous that this is like the third time that we've had a government shutdown since President Trump.
You're on mute, Minion.
Oh, my bad. I was saying that should tell you something. That should tell you something. Every time he's in office, the government got to get shut down.
But did you just hear what he said? They're going to try to keep the government shut down until he get out of office.
Yeah, I heard that.
How ludicrous does that sound?
And like they're acting like little kids. No, it's Trump that's the little kid because you can't give him what he wants, so the government got to get shut down because he is not going to budge. So.
Office. So basically, when President Trump wins, the Democrats know that they've got a worthy opponent on their hands, and the only option that they seem to have is to shut the government down. And it's just like they're not doing their jobs.
And the White House continues to call for Democrats to pass that continuing resolution to fund the government. But certainly the president's call for a filibuster, a new layer to their message today as President Trump has left the White House this afternoon, spending the weekend in Florida.
Haley, the Democrats say that there is another side to this coin. They say there is an emergency fund that would cover SNAP or food stamps. How are they responding?
Well, the administration is pushing back against Democrats' claims about funding for SNAP. A USDA memo showed that the agency will not use contingency funds to pay beneficiaries when SNAP funding runs out tomorrow for millions of Americans who rely on the food benefit program. Officials are maintaining that they cannot use that funding to supplement the benefits when the underlying amounts are not appropriated. USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins doubling down on that explanation today, saying this.
So there is a contingency fund at USDA, but that contingency fund, by the way, doesn't even cover, I think, half of the 9.2.
That's not the question, ma'am. Can you use it? We don't care if it could. Use what you got.
$1 billion that would be required for November SNAP, but it is only allowed to flow if the underlying program is funded. It's called a contingency fund, and by law, contingency fund can only flow when the underlying fund is flowing. So, for example, if if today the Democrats say, "Oh, never mind, sorry, we'll open the government," and SNAP flows, Hurricane Melissa or one of the hurricanes hits, that's the
This is how you know these people are fucking airheads. Let's say, for hypothetical, oh, never mind, they would open the government. Like that's part of her speech. That's insane.
Yeah.
And
Then she
and
talking about if it's already flowing, then you get the continuously.
It's
No, that
double
is not
talk.
exactly, because that is not it. That's word salad. You're doing a lot of word salad and think everybody's dumb to believe all that. I mean, you have some, but not everybody is dumb to believe that. You you know, you talking about, oh, if a hurricane come in, you already getting food stamps, and hurricane come in, you could get some more food stamps. That is not the case. You know that because there's several hurricanes and tornadoes and everything that come through, and the people did not get any extra food stamps. So don't
right.
tell, so don't tell that lie. That right there is a lie. What it is, like when they had uh, C-19, when they had C-19, that's when you know, they used it then. They gave you extra because of the C-19. Everybody was confined to home. People had, you know, could only go out at a certain time to get food or whatever. That's a situation like that. But what you talk about, woman, is not it. That's why I say you got a lot of airheads in positions that have no clue of what they're talking about in regards to governing a United States position. So, you know, that's my take on it.
I feel like she know exactly what's going on. It's like Shelley C say, it's just double talking to avoid the subject. They know that they're being blamed for it, and so they're trying to put the blame on the Democrats. So whatever talking point that they can use to put the blame on the Democrats, then that's what they're gonna do. And I don't know why she's talking about, don't bring something up, because FEMA is a non-function entity also because of your boy. There's people in Florida right now still waiting for FEMA from the last flood that we had, and he's not helping anybody do anything with the government funds because he's trying to extrapolate all the funds from all the departments so that he can fulfill his big, beautiful, abundant mess of a bill that he got approved because they're trying to take funding from every department any kind of way that they can to fund ICE and to fund this tax break that they're trying to give the billionaires. So you're going to hear this double talking the whole 4 years that he's in office, and they're not going to own up to anything that they're doing wrong. They want to make it look like it's all the Democrats' fault. The Democrats don't want to work with them, and it's the Democrats' fault the government can't be open, and it's the Democrats' fault because everything's high and expensive. Every other word is Democrat, 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 and in actuality, y'all own everything. So how you
You
gonna
know
blame the
what?
Democrats and they have no power to do anything?
But you want to know why their messaging is really working on the people right now? Is if we really go back to what we were talking about earlier, where we were talking about there should be an education requirement for the president, and people should know this and be knowledgeable, and education, education, education. That's usually the message when it comes to Democrats, right? But when we look at the reality of the people who live in America, a lot of people gravitate, and I feel like um it resonates more when you talk in the way that she's talking, right? Where you're talking in the most simplest terms, like down earth, like regular people, these farmers, these trailer park trash, people. This is the type of rhetoric that they understand and that they like, and that you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they understand their base.
They know how to resonate with them.
And while we keep trying to push education, that's not what's going to get people to come over to the side, right? Because they don't want the education. People that talk like this is what they want. People that talk
Hmm.
like Trump is what people want in office,
Yeah,
and they know that.
and he said he liked low educated voters, and like Sheena Baby saying, most people don't understand civics. They don't understand how government work, and he even put it on his website. He even put it on the governmental website that the Democrats are stopping are the cause of the shutdown. And most people believe what's on the governmental websites. And he just done came in and changed up the whole game. And like you said, some of these people is drinking this orange Kool-Aid because they're just uninformed and just really don't know how government goes.
And they like the way these people talk.
Yeah, they like the.
It's not even about they just like the aggressive, you know what I'm saying? They like the president and the vice president cursing. They feel like that makes them more like
Them.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It don't have anything to do with politics.
Contingency fund that we would use to send more money into the vulnerable communities that are harmed by a specific event like a hurricane.
Badal, the issue is generating several legal challenges to this as well, but certainly a very significant development for so many Americans starting tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, a Boston judge may wind up having the final say in this. She says she is going to make a decision. Scripps News White House correspondent Haley Beaufort on the North Lawn. Haley, as always, thank you very much.
Okay, so the next one is also talking about SNAP, so let's go ahead and get into that one.
So we got something very important that we've been waiting for, literally just handed to me, 15 pages. We've been waiting for this Massachusetts judge to let us know whether or not the federal government is essentially going to be forced to pay for SNAP benefits. We're just 10 hours and 10 minutes away from 42 million Americans losing this benefit. I want to bring in MSNBC senior legal reporter Lisa Rubin. Lisa, what did the judge say?
So the judge, Chris, is saying that the defendants are obligated to use the contingency funds that were identified by the state. But they also have another option available, that they can take money that comes off of funds. There are additional funds that also may be available that come from a different source. And so what she is saying is the plaintiffs have shown a likelihood of success on the merits, but they aren't necessarily at the stage that they have shown that they will be irreparably harmed because they have identified two sources of funding that are enough to cover the shortfall here. And USDA can make a choice whether they take solely from the contingency fund, whether they take some from the other source of money. And she's basically saying they can opt to provide full funding of SNAP benefits from previously appropriated funds. That's why plaintiffs have not yet established their entitlement to a temporary restraining order. So she says the motion remains under advisement. She's not making a decision up or down yet. But by Monday, the defendants, meaning the Trump administration and specifically the USDA, has to advise her, and I'm now reading from the order, whether they will authorize at least reduced SNAP benefits for November, and if so, their timeline for determining whether to authorize only reduced SNAP benefits using the contingency funds, or whether they will authorize full SNAP benefits using both those contingency funds and additional available funds taken from, I believe, imports that and the taxes on imports that come in.
So I'm reading, as you're reading, when I say
we can't hear you, Minion.
Oh, my bad. Is she saying that they're gonna definitely give you guys, give us the SNAP benefits, or what's going on?
Well, she said she's going to make the ruling on Monday.
Oh, okay.
And she's giving them a choice of which one they want to do. But she haven't ruled. She said that it was unlawful, right? And they do have the funds. So she's going to give them until Monday to figure out how they're going to pay for it.
Okay.
So,
But
I
it's
guess
gonna
it's
be
a
one or
yes.
the other.
I guess it's
Right.
a soft yes.
Yeah. A soft yes. Okay.
just got this. We literally just got this. But then is it clear what happens between now and then? Because, again, at midnight tonight, 42 million Americans lose this benefit. And she's saying now, I need more information on Monday?
Not necessarily. She's saying you have to tell me on Monday how you're going to cover this. So you can either partially cover the shortfall for everyone using just contingency funds, or you can use the contingency funds and other available sources on Monday and meet the full SNAP benefits for everyone nationwide. And on Monday, or no later than Monday, you're going to tell me which of these two options you're going to take. I am giving you two routes out of this, but one or another of them is legally compelled. And that's why I'm not making a ruling on this right now, because by Monday, depending on what you decide to do, I may put my foot down and enter the order that plaintiffs have asked for.
All right, I'm going to read something to you, and I want you to put it in English.
Okay.
It is in English, but it's in legal English. Plaintiffs have demonstrated this is about the likelihood of success.
Right.
Plaintiffs have demonstrated a strong likelihood of success on the merits of their claim under an administrative procedure. She lays it out that defendant's suspension of SNAP benefits is contrary to law.
Right. Okay.
In other words, they can't do this under the law. Is that what this is saying?
That's essentially what it's saying. So when you apply for emergency relief, as the plaintiffs have here, one of the things you have to show is that you are likely to succeed when all the evidence is gathered, when you have a full-blown trial on the law, you are the one who's going to prevail. And you have to show that in the meantime, you would be irreparably harmed, such that it has to be that justice would demand an order be entered immediately. So where it comes to the likelihood of their success on the legal claim, she is saying the plaintiffs have shown the Trump administration is interpreting the law all wrong. They are, in fact, required to draw down from a particular contingency fund that Congress has already set aside. They must do that. Where the problem is where she's saying, look, there are two options. And so their refusal to draw down on the contingency fund isn't the only option available to them. By Monday, they have to tell me which of two doors they're going to take.
All right. Lisa Rubin, thank you. Really important information.
All right. Very important information. We'll see what happens on Monday.
Baby, they went all the way around the world with that one, didn't they?
I know, right? But basically, what I'm getting from it is basically the judge is saying they are going to have to use some funds to fund the people. Now, whether or not they just use the contingency or they use additional means.
Yeah, well, all these terrorists that we got coming into the country, according to Agent Orange. Yeah, so.
But y'all going to have to do one or the other. So we're going to see what happens on Monday.
Yeah, I think that I knew they were going to come off of it. I knew something was going to give, because you can't starve America because of a shutdown.
No.
He think this what's that place? What's that place in Israel? Hamas?
Gaza.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, the next one that we're going to talk about is going to be, let's see.
Today, and former President Joe Biden is making a stop in Boston to receive a prestigious honor.
This is the reason why Donald Trump mad. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's going on.
M. Kennedy Institute will give Biden its Lifetime Achievement Award. Former Boston Mayor Marty Walsh, who served as Secretary of Labor under Biden, will also be honored. The Institute is celebrating its 10th anniversary this fall. That award will be presented by Victoria Reggie Kennedy, the widow of the late Senator Ed Kennedy. She sat down exclusively with our Maria Stefano speaking about the award and Senator Kennedy's legacy. You can watch that entire conversation on WCVB.com or the WCVB app.
Okay, well, I mean, you know what's crazy? Isn't one of the Kennedys in office the crazy one?
Yeah, the one that got worms in his brain.
Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, the one that got the worms in his brain.
That's Elmer Kennedy's nephew.
Look, Donald Trump said, look, I done put your family in office.
Right.
What more can I do? He still ain't win, and it still went to Biden. Now, if that's not a FU.
In the face.
What's a better FU than that?
But at the end of the day, his family don't even fool with him. So he can't expect them people to give him nothing. Robert F. Kennedy family don't even deal with him like that. They don't even like him. They voted against him.
Yeah, they say he cray anyway. It's like, look, and they said, that man ain't got no sense. He crazy.
And he hard to listen to.
No, they say he even borderline Alzheimer's.
But that's the reason why Agent Orange been hollering about a Nobel Peace Prize, because he already knew Biden was going to get this prize. But he would never get a Lifetime Achievement prize like this. he would never get recognized for anything other than being a con man, in my opinion.
I don't even think he would
Allegedly.
get a Nobel Peace Prize because it would just devalue the prize itself. You know what I'm saying? To where people wouldn't even care anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not even going to be a big thing if he were to get it.
He
So
ain't gonna get it. He ain't gonna
Well,
get
his
it.
press secretary said they already talked to the people overseas about giving it to him next year. So it's already in the making.
well, that you see what they do? They did that up until this point too. Like, oh yeah, we're nominating you. We think you should win the Nobel. That's because that's all you have to do for him, you know. And then I'll get you to the next point, and you be like, oh, I'm sorry, next year. We promise. You know, that's what.
But you gotta remember, none of them people overseas like him, so that ain't
No.
gonna help him. So even if they
But they do
recommend
stroke
him,
his ego.
not those overseas. You saw how much of an ego they did when the Pope died. They put him down there by his lonesome. They ain't put him down there with all the leaders. They put him right down there with his lonesome.
But see, they don't talk about him in front of his face. See, they talk about him amongst each other, and then they laugh and pretend
Hmm.
that they joking with him in front of his face while they're mocking him.
But when they had it lined up for the Pope funeral, and they were walking in doing the funeral service,
I
they
know
had
what you're
him down
talking
there by
about.
they had him down there by himself. So that shows you. Then when he came in after the funeral, and remember the man from what is it?
Zelensky.
Yeah, he came in right after Trump, and they gave him applause and gave him dap
Standing
and all.
ovation.
Right. And Trump walked there waving and nobody clapped or anything. And Lizinski came in, they was waving and clapping and hey, and shoulder bumping and everything. I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well, it's his own fault.
Yep. Okay,
I
now the
don't
next
like
thing.
him.
No, I mean, come on now. He wants to be a dictator. He wants to be friends with Putin. You know, so that's a very unpopular.
And Putin don't even like him. That's sad. That's where
And
it's
that's the
bad.
other thing too. Yeah, a lot of the people
Putin
who
and what's the one over in China? Neither one of
Xi
them,
Xi Jinping,
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping,
Xi
ding.
Jinping.
Bing, bing, bing.
Right.
President Xi. United.
But
And
neither
it
one of
really
them.
is, it's embarrassing because everybody laugh at us. We're the laughing stock of the world at this point.
And look, both of them are dictators, and they ain't even having nothing to do with him. So I mean, come on. I mean, come on, Macca. How much more do y'all need? I mean, it's simple as English. I mean, simple as saying ABC. That they don't even like him. And then you notice that. Have you noticed that they say he went over to, I think it was Japan or China or something like that. They ain't really caring about that man. They didn't do the red carpet on him when he got there. But he did the red carpet for him, but they didn't do it for him when he got over there. They just looked at him and say, hey.
They gave him a golf club and a ball and a gold ball.
Wow. But he made our soldiers crawl on their knees to pull out the red carpet for him.
She gave
Xi
him a tour
Jinping.
of the whole room. Y'all saw that. They did it real big for him, and they let him stand on top of a platform, so he felt special.
I saw that.
Yeah, yeah. They walked him around, almost kind of reminded you of like the dog competitions where they walk the dog around the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can admire the dog and then put the dog on the
On a
platform when he was.
pedestal. Yeah.
Right.
He got
And
off
that's,
course one time, but she was able to reel him back in. She was able to reel him back in. So, yeah, they they pulled out all the stops for him and showed him how much of a
dog
great
he is.
How special he is.
how
A great.
special he was, right?
He
All
was
right,
he was as special as a great Dane. Okay, keep going.
all right, guys. So the next thing we're gonna be watching is Prince. The Prince is no longer the Prince. Let's see what's going on.
His princely title is gone. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, as he's now formally known, is preparing to leave Royal Lodge, a 30-room mansion near Windsor Castle, where he's lived virtually rent-free for more than 2 decades. He's moving to a more remote, private house on the Sandringham estate, funded by his brother, King Charles. His ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, who has also lived at Royal Lodge, will have to make her own living arrangements. The banishment has left the disgraced royal increasingly exposed.
Then where the other woman gonna go? She can't go to the same house.
Bad ex-wife. She the ex-wife, so they say she got to find her own arrangements. But you
Oh,
know what,
okay.
baby, they not playing. Now this how you hold people accountable.
Yeah. Is this the one that was found with Epstein?
This is accountability 101.
Hmm.
With
They
that,
exiled him.
they got a picture with him and that Virginia Guffrey, the one that unalived herself. He got a picture of
Yeah.
her when she was young, and so he was included. That's the reason why they stripped his title from him. And this is what we
Wow.
should have done.
Exactly. Bing, 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 bing.
Okay, well, let's keep watching. This is interesting.
He now faces political and legal scrutiny over his finances and his long friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. There are also renewed sexual abuse allegations from Virginia Giuffre, whose posthumous memoir was published last week. Andrew denies all her claims.
The king has decided to take the maximum action that is there, not least because nobody knows how much more there is to come out of this story.
The Duke and Duchess of Windsor making their first visit to this country 3 years.
It's the most dramatic royal retreat since 1936, when King Edward VIII abdicated to marry divorced American socialite Wallis Simpson. The couple lived for the rest of their lives in exile as the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. Andrew, the third child of Queen Elizabeth II, has also lost his title as Duke of York, a reflection of the public outrage surrounding him.
And I've never seen as much criticism of a member of the royal family as we've had of Andrew.
While the King's decision may help protect the monarchy's reputation, scrutiny of Andrew and the fallout from his past is likely to continue.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Exile. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right, well.
Hell.
But you want to know what, with this Epstein stuff, I think that's going to bring it all the way back. I mean, if Prince Andrew was exiled, people are going to start looking at why hasn't anything been done to the people in America. They're taking action. What's going on? What is America really standing for at this point? Because if the king has, I mean, if the prince of the damn country is, been banished and
Been
exiled and stripped of their title.
Put out the house, all this shit in the front yard.
And we're over here trying to hide the files and trying to make sure they never get released. Like, that's, I don't know. I don't know. That's
Well, I
another
know.
thing.
I'm gonna tell you why they won't release everything. Because rest assured, if it was just Democrats in those files, they would release it all. But we have important dignitaries from all over the world. You see, Andrew was in that. Apparently, Jeffrey Epstein's father was a real important person, a dignitary overseas, and he's the one who kind of got this started and handed it down to his son, and his son just kept it up. It's a lot of money involved in all of this. It's a lot of other important people overseas involved in this, as well as rich, powerful men in America. It's a bunch of rich, powerful men from all over the world is involved in these Epstein files, and that's why they're trying to hide it. And you heard what King Charles spokesman said. They don't know what else is going to come down the pipeline. They don't know who's going to win the elections. They don't know if the Democrats going to put everything out, so on and so forth. And so they stripped him before it got started. Go ahead and kick him out. So in case something go down the pipeline, they can just say, well, he's no longer a prince. We stripped his title. We have nothing to do with him. We denounce him. And next, they're probably going to denounce him if the story really get put out. I feel like they'll denounce him and act like they don't even know who he is.
Oh yeah, most definitely, because it's all about public image out there. So
Yeah, public perception is everything.
now, what they do behind closed doors may be a totally different thing, but of course, to the public, they have to do what they got to do.
Well, the king said he was going. He gave him a house that he's going to fund, so he still, will have a place to stay. He just won't get a salary because they all get a salary over there. They all get a certain amount of
Yeah, on
money.
the paper, right?
They
I
get
got
they
it.
get a, they get a monthly stipend, is what they call it.
Hmm. Right, right. I get
So
it. I get it. He
Tyson.
got to make sure it looks good for the public eye.
exactly.
All
Yeah,
right.
because look, Duffrey, Shelley C. said he settled with Duffrey.
Mm.
Yeah, he did settle with one of the victims. He did
So
in
that's
the, in the,
that's
in the
right
early
there.
beginning.
Yep.
I
So
think
that goes
I,
right
I think
there.
she meant Guthrie, that Virginia lady that they showed.
Uh huh.
Okay, I
Yep.
think
So
I think he settled with her, and he did that in the very beginning when his mom was alive because he was trying to keep his title. So when Queen
right,
Elizabeth died, that's
it's
what
out
that's what
now.
that's what King Charles did.
All right. Well, the next hot topic that we have is one of the richest black women's best friends. She has some news, so let's see what's going on with Miss Gayle.
Big change reportedly coming to CBS. According to a report from Variety, Gayle King, host of CBS Mornings, may be leaving the show. King joined the network's morning programming back in 2011 when it was still called CBS This Morning and stayed on as the main anchor of CBS Mornings when it was rebranded back in 2021. Her contract with the network is set to expire in May, and sources tell Variety she may step down from the show, though, according to a report by the New York Post, quote, a source familiar with the situation noted that nothing is set in stone and King hasn't yet made plans regarding her career after that point.
The Post reports an insider told them that King has very different politics from the new editor-in-chief, Barry Weiss, who has appeared to undertake an overhaul of the CBS News division since she started at the beginning of the month.
Huh. Okay, so before we get into
Okay.
any further, do y'all think that she's gonna go or do y'all think she's gonna stay?
Yep, she's gonna go.
Yeah,
I
she
would say
gonna
she's
go.
gonna leave.
She
They're
gonna
gonna
leave
they're
because
gonna force her out. They just making it look like she's had like how
Yeah,
corporate America is. They act like they give you a choice, but they tell you is best in your best interest.
I was
You
gonna say
want
that too.
yeah, you want to get paid for your contract, the rest of your contract or what have you, so on and
Just go
so
ahead
forth.
and go now. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
We're
don't
gonna
know if
give
her
you the
contract
option to
is
resign.
yeah. I
yeah.
think it's an option of resigning or we're gonna kick you out the door. And I don't know how much more time she have on her contract if she has one, or if they're just not gonna renew the contract. But nevertheless, she will be out the door. So she'll be riding around on Oprah's land, and they can go till the garden or whatever they do.
Yeah, I think they're not going to renew her contract. That's what I'm thinking.
Does
I'm
Gail have
thinking the
any
same thing.
kids?
Nope, she don't have any children.
She
No, she has a son.
oh, she do?
Do she have a son? I didn't think she had any kids.
Yes, that's Oprah's godson.
Mm.
She has one son. I could be wrong, but I'm going to look it up. But I remember her.
Okay, because I was just gonna look it up.
All right, well let's keep watching.
Yes, she has.
Under White,
Actually, she has two kids. She has Kirby Bumpus, and she has William Bumpus Jr.
Mm.
I knew that
Is she
because
married too?
yeah, she's married to the dad, which is William Bumpus Sr.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, well, it looks like yeah, they're still married. They don't know what date they got married. Yes, yeah,
Mm,
it's showing they're still
mm.
current. No, it says ex-husband. No, it's ex-husband.
Oh, ex-husband.
1990.
Okay.
Yeah, 1993 was the divorce year.
That's when her and Oprah got real close. All right,
They got married from 1982 to 1993.
You so silly, Minion. They got real extremely close at that time.
She saw Oprah starting to blow up. She said, "Oh, hey bestie, what's good? I dropped you know, oh man, what's good?
I dropped that zero. Now I want to hang around a
Grilled my
hero.
carpet."
Yeah, yeah, they did.
Girl, you know, he didn't give me no alimony, no child support. He didn't give me nothing, girl. I'm just broker than broke.
Mr. Bump has got the bump.
Come hold me.
Mhm.
All right, let's keep watching.
The network has reportedly made extensive budget cuts, canceled 2 streaming shows, and made around 100 layoffs, including at least 8 on-air correspondents and hosts. CBS Evening News co-anchor John Dickerson has also announced he would leave the network earlier this week.
As for King, Variety magazine reports that it is still possible that she remains with the broadcaster to produce her own program. CBS indicated that they would like to keep her at the network, with a spokesperson telling Variety, quote, "She's a truly valued part of CBS, and we look forward to engaging with her about the future."
Well, she's doing her own thing on her own
Child,
by
that ain't
herself.
gonna work. She ain't Oprah. She ain't Oprah, child. She ain't her friend.
They
Can't
say we
do
see
that.
bright things for her future, just not her future with us. All right.
So there was a statement from a spokesperson who said that no decisions have been made regarding what Gayle King was going to do regarding the end of her contract in May 2026, and that there haven't even been official conversations about it. So if she is leaving, it could be that it's on her own accord. Maybe she just doesn't like the future of CBS under Barry Weiss, and she doesn't want to be involved anymore.
Or maybe they just gave her 2 options, and she's going with the one that she could bow out gracefully with.
Okay, so we don't need any person of color in the morning, but you can do a night show at midnight.
That part.
Wait, what you talking about? What you talking about?
What you talking about,
Yeah,
Willis?
I'm confused.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you
I
talking about, Willie?
said what I said. I said they offered her a show in the midnight hour because they don't want no colored woman up in there in the morning time. That's what I said.
But you want to know what? I would be okay with that because you want to know what? I feel like that's when most people watch TV. If you ask me.
That's true, because during the morning time, everybody's getting to prepare to go to work or working, you know, at work. So most of the people watch TV in the afternoon. I know that's what I used to watch.
That's
all
y'all.
day.
That's y'all ex-working people and current working people. There's a lot of housewives that sit right there every morning.
Well, I was just
And
about
they
to
watch
say.
a lot of retirees sit right here every morning with their coffee watching,
The
CBS,
View and
watching The
all
View
that.
and
Yeah, yeah,
CBS
yeah.
Morning and all of that. They have an audience, and Lester Holt left. So if Lester gone, y'all know what this is. Come on,
Gayle need to do
come
what
on, man. You know what this is.
Gayle need to do what Don Lemon did, what everybody else is doing that's moving away, that got fired or quit daytime or the news and get their own podcast. She need to go ahead and get on YouTube and get
Now,
her own podcast.
allegedly and conspiracy, I don't know if this is true or not, but I did see on social media that she did say something that Agent Orange didn't like. So we know. So
Yeah, I heard that too.
allegedly. So I haven't
Allegedly.
verified if she said anything about him because I didn't have time to look that part of it up. But allegedly, he's the reason why she got the boot.
Yeah, because he's censoring them now. So anybody say anything about him on these newscasts that he don't like, he charge them a fine.
And I'm sorry, and it's a war on African Americans. Let's just keep it real. They don't want us on TV no more. I told y'all we're going back to the 50s.
Yeah, he said
They're
make
trying to take
America
us
great
back.
again. He
Yeah.
said make America great again. So I guess we're
Yeah.
making us
But it's
great.
not working. I mean, there's a lot of TV shows that I watch that are,
And don't nobody
still.
even watch TV. Everybody watch streaming.
Yeah, that's why I watch it on YouTube. I watch
Right. Right.
NBC and all that on YouTube, not
So
on
they go,
TV.
yeah, and I wholeheartedly, I feel like they're losing their audience anyway. The more technology they come out with the internet, the less people watching TV. A lot of these shows are having to shut down because they just don't have the audience either.
Right.
They don't have the crowd that they used to have.
And also they
So it
censoring
ain't that
so
big of a
bad.
deal.
And they
Yeah.
censoring them so bad that the only way they can express themselves the way they feel comfortable is to go to a podcast. And now, look at Newsom. He even doing podcasts, so he won't even get
Mm-hmm.
censored on the news.
Everybody.
So, right, so everybody's coming up with podcasts now. And
Jasmine.
Yeah.
yep, Jasmine Crockett,
Joy
Newsom.
Reid, Don
Yep,
Lemon.
yep, everybody.
I'm interested to see what Stephen Colbert gonna do because you remember he got to go too.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's
he's.
that guy?
Hmm.
Oh no, never mind. I'll
Yeah, remember they got rid of Stephen Colbert's contract, and that was because he threatened to take the FCC license.
mm-hmm.
And the guy that owns it now, that white guy, he's friends with Agent Orange. So anybody that's against him got to go. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with Strahan on ABC if he's gonna leave Michael Strahan.
I think these people don't at this point they probably even prepared. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll see. But let's finish this little clip of Gayle. See what it's gonna.
Or maybe she's angling for some kind of new program. Who knows? But obviously, there has been a lot of change at CBS since Barry Weiss took over, cutting a lot of positions. Earlier this week, there was a report where insiders at CBS described some of the layoffs as a quote unquote bloodbath. Coincidentally, also what Trump said about the auto industry ahead of the election, of what would happen if Kamala Harris won the election. But also getting rid of, apparently they had like a diversity reporter department. She got rid of that. And then John Dickerson leaving as well, who was someone who tried not to burst into tears after Trump was reelected when he appeared on a late night show. So probably not too much of a anything to cry about for most people, him leaving the network. But look, CBS's ratings have been declining for years. People have really low trust in media right now. I think to continue on the same trajectory would be insane. Barry Weiss, I think, is trying to really shake things up to make this a more competitive news outlet. And people aren't going to agree with every move that she makes, but would like to give her some latitude to try to get this back to a place where people can watch CBS and feel like they're watching something that is a little more objective and unbiased and actually presents both sides of the political aisle.
Yeah, I think, well, we know that Barry Weiss is frustrated from several reports about how many people are leaking news exactly as it happens. So,
You know what? Not to cut them off, but I think that's one of the issues with the environment and landscape of America right now, like how it is so divided to where it feels like when you watch MSNBC, it's definitely left. When you watch Fox, it's definitely right. But I mean, can you even appeal to the viewers without being like that at this point? So,
Well, I
Child,
don't
they've
think.
always. Oh, I'm sorry, Foxy. Go ahead.
They always been like, like I said what I said. I think we were going to say the same thing that, they always been like that. It's always been divided, but it's just now it's just getting more touchy in regards to topics now than it was before. Before you can, we could talk about the white, we could talk about the blacks. It was starting to get to a point it's getting okay. Now it's politics. You can't say nothing about the Democrats. Can't say nothing about the Republicans, or you're gonna get tagged behind it. It's just getting out of hand to a point that you don't know what to say anymore without feeling like you're gonna get attacked for it.
Our freedom of speech is leaving. Comedians can't even comede no more. They can't even tell jokes. They can't even comede no more.
they
They can't
can't
even
even compete.
no, they can't comede no more. They can't tell jokes. And
That's
Man.
like
true.
Foxy was saying, she's absolutely right. I'm going to say the same thing. It's always been divisive, and everybody just laughed and went on about their day, and people had the shows that they watched. But it's always been this way. And like she said, I feel like in order to have a dictatorship, you have to divide and conquer first. So this is where we're at this point. It's all about dividing everybody and everybody picking their side, and then we'll see what's going to happen next. I hate to see what's going to happen next. I kind of got an idea, but I'm not going to put it out there on the airways like that. But yeah, this is the first step to dictatorship in so many ways.
Well, Russia, what's his name, Putin, he's in charge of everything that goes on the news or in the magazines, the newspapers, everything. He's in charge of that. They have to basically go past them to agree that that could be posted or put out there.
Yeah,
So
and
that
China, North Korea, all dictators, all countries they have dictatorships. That's the way
and
they
that's
operate.
and that's what he's trying to do with the United States. Is to do the same thing where we have no freedom of speech. We have to, if we say anything about him, or you can canceled, or you going to jail because defaming him, and it's just getting sad. And this man, this orange man, ain't got that.
But he
Yeah,
learning, he learning real quick that the American people are not gonna sit down and let him make this whatever he think he's trying to make it. It's just not
To
gonna
make this
happen.
turn to where
yeah,
he trying
because
to turn it to.
right,
Hmm.
because look at all these protests that are happening. No Kings protests. They done had two already, and the last one was bigger than the first one.
I mean, the last one set world records, so
Yeah,
it's definitely not gonna go the way that he think it's gonna go. Or if he think that he's gonna continue doing this, he's gonna be up for the fight of his life when
Yeah,
it comes to trying to take
his
over.
approval rating is only at what 37 to 39%. So that's only a third of the country. Everybody else
and,
is against this.
and also I see this is me. This just me. My little opinion that he, when it comes down to election time, I don't care how much he tries to divide and conquer, and what is it? Divide, do the lines to separate everybody where they can't vote unless they in a certain area. They all, I've seen people that go from Republicans to vote for a Democrat. Look at some of the Republicans that did it with Kamala. They voted for the Democrat. So they voted. A lot of the Republicans voted for Obama. He's Democrat for 8 years. So I don't think he's gonna make it that third term. Even if they change the Constitution to do that, he ain't gonna
But
make
no,
it.
no,
He
you
might
can't
not
say.
make it throughout this term if he keep
Yeah,
playing.
and don't worry about the Constitution. It take 10 years to change the Constitution. Mike Johnson confirmed that, and also to keep in mind, he's not in charge of the elections. Are ran by the states, not by the federal government. And if they don't put him on the ballot, how can he run? Can be on the ballot on the states that agree with him, i.e., South. But you got the North and the Midwest. That's not, that may put him on the ballot and may not. So there's no way he can win if he can't be on the ballot
And
everywhere.
I think a lot of the constituents are changing over now, because remember he had, when Elon Musk was with him, he went to one of those states that was all red, and they turned blue on him real quick. There wasn't even, and the person that was the Republican lost with a landslide. They didn't win with a landslide. They lost with a landslide. The landslide just covered them all up. That's how bad they lost to a Democrat. So
Well,
that's
the past elections that we had, all Democrats won except for one. One Republican won, and the rest was Democrats. They swept it.
I mean, I
yep.
think it's safe to say that whether or not, no matter what party you are involved with, you probably just don't want it to become America to become a dictatorship. And so, I think that his policies and what he's doing is vastly unpopular with everybody. Um, so he can try to blame the Democrats all he wants, but the more that he says Democrats, 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 and this is the reason, I feel like he's basically campaigning for them because they're like, look, if we have to take our chances with them over this, then we're gonna
Hmm.
do that.
And they want
And then
them files. And they want them Epstein files. They don't want
And they
them.
want the files, right?
and then plus the farmers. Now remember, a lot of the Midwest were farmers. He lost a lot of them when they took their money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's keep watching so we can get through some of these videos. We got 6 minutes left on this one.
Say that Gayle King has not made any final decisions. That's it seems like an accurate thing because it's abruptly happening and abruptly in the news. It almost seems like the same day, the same way we know who they're auditioning or interviewing or who they're reaching out to. And Brett Baer had to come out and say, "Hey, wait a second."
So my thing is, oh, let me just let it play a little bit. I'm gonna reserve my question.
I think it's important to note about Gayle King's significance at CBS. I mean, the network wasn't doing well, and I was at NBC at the time. It was behind NBC and ABC when they brought her on to CBS to kind of revamp the morning show. And she was a central figure in that entire movement. And what I think that she did to the program is bring ratings dramatically up. And she really did help them change and make the new iteration of that morning show and actually get people to actually watch it. Because Good Morning America and Today Show have always been the big two in the game. And CBS This Morning was a distant third. So what Gayle King did is bring them up to par with those, just to even be recognized, where people are constantly pulling from those. They're becoming viral moments. It's a big deal. What I also know is that when Charlie Rose left after the entire Me Too scandal, that brought the ratings back down for them. So it was an unfortunate event for everybody, but that wasn't any part of Gayle King. She came in and did her job and also did a hard work for the network and had some major interviews that have sat in the ethos of what we discussed for decades, including that first and exclusive interview with R. Kelly and just many people that really showed you what a type of journalist she is. She's using her connections and closeness to proximity of celebrities, but also when she calls them the task and asks questions, she asks tough ones, and it doesn't matter how you think she should know them, what her relationship should be, she's still grilling people and doing the job of a journalist. So I think, it's tough to watch this woman be rewarded in this way, who did so much for the last decade or more for CBS to kind of bring it back. It wasn't surely her fault that the ratings were falling. They did
The way that she's describing what's going on is like it isn't voluntary. Is it just me or
Bingo. Oh, what I tell you all ago, me. It's corporate America. They play like they play like it's your decision, but really it's their decision. And
because
they
she's
like,
like,
do you want this severance pay? Do you want these benefits, or do you want us to just kick you on out the door and you go to the unemployment line? Huh? You can have it your way, baby.
this is hilarious. Because I mean, now they have CBS laying off employees. They are so shady. This is so funny. They're framing it like it's her decision, but at the same time, she's getting laid off.
on the show, brought
That
in a
part.
lot of new hosts in the morning. And so if this is the case and the report that Variety is putting out is true, I hope it's to really do something that she likes. I don't think that she necessarily has to stay on CBS This Mornings, right? But I hope that they would really make space for her and that the statement coming out of CBS would be to make it even more firm that, yes, of course we want her to stay. If she doesn't want to stay, that would be wholly on her. And I've seen networks make statements like that for other people that were deciding to leave or the decision was wholly their own because they adore and love them so much and they repay them for all they've done to bring up the network and all they've given. Because Gayle King has a lot of jobs, right? She doesn't have to work there. She's the head of Oprah Magazine, of I think content there. She also has a serious radio show. So it's not that I feel bad that she's going to have some suffering in any way. She's an esteemed journalist who probably can get multiple jobs. But I think just CBS paying her back in this way it's unfortunate to me. I also know that even though a lot of people get laid off, Gayle King is one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name over there at the network. And a lot of times from my perspective and purview in this industry, when there are massive layoffs or big changes, Black women are at the forefront of that before looking at the rest of the country. The rest of the company. So when we talk about NBC, we saw Ann Curry be let go. And she was an esteemed journalist who gave like 20 plus years of her career to NBC. And they kind of pulled the rug and didn't give her a proper goodbye from my purview. We saw Tamron Hall get replaced also at NBC. And then
Tamron Hall don't have a show no more.
Nope.
Child, Tamron been gone.
Oh, I didn't even know who that was until she got on the show, and I was like,
I keep telling y'all, they don't want to see y'all on TV no more. Y'all gonna believe me in a minute.
"That's hilarious." But I did not know. So Jennifer Hudson, the new Tamron Hall.
I guess,
And
child, she ain't gonna be on
be
that
on that
long
long.
either.
No.
Everybody leaving. Everybody going to the house.
Sherry Shepherd.
Everybody.
Do y'all watch their
Everybody.
shows?
Nope.
Sherry Shepherd gone.
Oh, she is.
She gone.
Oh,
No,
But
damn.
she
I don't
supposed
watch.
to be.
I don't
I
watch
think she
Sherry,
gone.
Wendy, or none of them.
A minute. I'm gonna check. Y'all go ahead, and I'm gonna check and see if she's still on. But I think she gone too. But I'm gonna check.
to beat the odds and start her own talk show. But still, the way she left, it was very obvious was not ideal for her, even though she gave more than a decade or 2 decades to the network, from local news to big things. We saw Joy Reid, the same thing, kind of like the rating. They're saying the ratings were way down, but she still got the rug pulled. Even the show right after her, Rachel Maddow, was like, I don't understand why we started with Joy Reid. Like, we can go down the ratings list of all the different people we could have started with that maybe the ratings were lower, but they just started with Joy Reid. And so my point there is that we don't always have to start with the black woman. She was doing a great job, and we need to make sure that we're honoring people that have given so much to the network. Like Joy Reid has done a lot for NBC, from working with the Griot to the Weekend Show to Down, and then you start with her like, oh, let's pull the plug right here. Let's start here to make cuts.
Well, she was also toxic for the brand. I mean, but I mean, we'll disagree on that. Look, we still don't know who is initiating these conversations about Gayle King, right? Like, she could have gone to them and said, I'm planning on leaving at the end of my contract, and they don't want that to be public yet, so why would they put out a statement begging her to stay if she's already informed them of her intentions to leave, right? Like, we don't know the direction that this...
Is this a debate that they're having?
No, she's just trying to cover it up. This is
Oh.
MAGA. This is MAGA 101 in a professional setting, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. And Sherry Shepherd's still on the air.
Oh, okay.
right now, so I don't want to speculate too much on, reading into CBS's statement or the things that have been leaked to the press until we know more about exactly how those conversations have gone. CBS also is apparently trying to poach Scott Jennings from CNN.
I saw that, yeah.
Which would be actually brilliant, because he has single-handedly, I think, lifted the ratings of their primetime shows by doing that roundtable panel with Abby Phillips, right? Like, he is one of the most aggressive conservative voices on any mainstream media.
Jab. We can't hear you, Meeting.
I said, first off, it's Abby Phillip without
Yeah.
a S. Get her name right, clown.
And how you gonna replace Gayle King with Scott Benson and think Bassett and think that he's going to replace Gayle King? This is I'm telling you, she's MAGA. You could tell she's MAGA 101, and she's trying to fudge this over. And that's why come people don't watch mainstream news anymore, because you
That's
have
so
to.
disingenuous.
It's so disingenuous. It may as well be Fox 2.0, in my opinion, with her talking. She may as well go over there to Fox, in my opinion.
News show besides Fox News, and it has caused people to tune in because they get to see like real substantive debates happening on a nightly basis, when previously you would see a CNN panel that had 10 people on it and there was one Republican, but it was like a Republican who hated Trump or had left the party, right? Like, it wasn't a real conservative voice. So poaching him would be brilliant.
Now, what I will say about Scott Jennings is that he is good for ratings, because I definitely tune into Abby Phillip Newsnight and the Table of Five and all those good shows, because I hope that he's on there so that they can chew his ass up, because he always makes himself and his party look like complete assholes and fools. So he is good for ratings. I'll give him that.
If they bring back Catherine
'cause
Herridge and
He
give...
sounds like an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that would be amazing.
I hear and respect that. I think Scott Jennings does a great job holding his own at the table. I think it's important to hear wide-ranging voices, and I like what CNN has done with Abby Phillips. I just really want to reiterate that when somebody has given that much to a brand to help it grow to the place.
And then also, I like Scott Jennings' facial expression.
Is even though it's having a dip or a low moment.
He be
Especially when
looking. He is the GOAT with the facial expressions.
It shouldn't be the first person where you start with the axe. And while I welcome new voices, I think we've got to look around the whole company. And you're right, she's not the only person that got let go. It's possible there are a lot of other people, but she is the flagship person, in the same way that Robin Roberts is the face of Good Morning America, is the same way that she is. And I just think they need to make sure that they treat her the same way she's treated the company by staying for 12 years.
Well, she'll be there at least till her contract runs out in the spring, so we'll see what happens.
Americans are setting their...
She said, well,
Baby,
oh
she
well.
said, well, good luck and good riddance, baby.
Oh, she at least has to the end of her contract to
Who
figure it
is this
out.
lady? She is shady, shady, shady.
I said such shade, such shade.
She said, well, she has to the end of her contract to figure
And she
things
happy as
out.
a lark that Gayle King finna go look at her. She might try to be vying for a spot. Hell, you never know.
Uh-huh.
That probably is.
That
Oh
was
man,
With
that was
that, with
that was
hilarious.
that Little House on the Prairie ass dress she got on. Girl,
I
what's up with
girl.
know.
Oh my,
Girl, I was thinking
please.
it. Look like what is it?
Lori?
She looked like
Oh,
she washed her clothes outside in one of them
Wash in the wash
in
in the wash
right.
tub.
And hang them up on the damn line with some clothespins. All right, let's
look at the sleeves of it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That looks
telling
like
you.
something. It looked like something my grandmother would wear back in the day.
Listen, this is straight out of Little House on the damn prairie. Trust me when I tell you that.
All right, well, and this gives me, you know what she looked like? Somebody who would be involved in the cult.
Yeah, she looked like one of those. Remember what was the man that had that coat place in Texas, and they went there and got all the women off, the children and women off the place. She looked like one of them that, that came all day.
No. She was with Warren Jeffs in Utah, Foxy. She do better in she look like Warren Jeffs compound
Right, that's the one I'm trying. I thought it was Texas. That's the one I'm talking about. It took,
in
and remember they
Utah.
all had it. Remember they
With
all
oh
had
no
dresses
no,
that looked like.
he had a church out here too.
Yeah, it wasn't Warren Jeffs though. It was somebody else in Waco. What was that guy in
No,
Waco?
it was out here in
In
Houston.
Houston? Oh,
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
one in
yeah, yeah.
Houston too.
He had it
Are you talking about the one
from
from Texas?
Utah all the way. But they were all together.
Child.
So
And,
yeah.
and she looked like one of those. The outfit she got on looked like one of those they put on them and have them walking around like.
All she needs is her head on. Just
That's
on it.
it. That's it.
You guys are so funny.
All right.
Well,
Oh,
I mean, that's what she acted, Lizzy. You look how happy she is.
She
Look at
is very
her
happy
face.
though.
She
You
is
can't tell me she
ecstatic.
don't look like she would be a part of a cult.
She
Yeah, I
do.
can't. Yeah, I can't say she. All right, but
That
and she
ain't
fit
that
in
that
right with a
ain't trying
nun.
to. But see, David Koresh was in Waco, and
Okay,
Warren
yeah,
Jeffs was in Utah. So I think she looked more like Warren Jeffs to me.
yeah, she looked like the Utah people that they came and
Yeah,
got
yeah.
when they got. She looked just like her. I mean, look at the way she's sitting. And remember them people when they started talking to them, they were sitting like her. Okay, yes, whatever.
Shelly C said she looked like Kathy Bates on Misery.
what's up,
Yes,
artist?
yes, yes.
Excuse her.
Y'all so
When she had
silly.
that dude, when she tied that dude up, kept him in that cabin. Remember that he
Yeah.
And
broke his arms and shit, so he couldn't go nowhere.
broke both
Y'all are
them ankles.
crazy.
Broke both them ankles to make sure he didn't run. She looked
Yeah,
like.
yeah, she broke his ankles. Yeah, that's what it was.
And look, and the smile. Remember, she had that
Yes.
Bates had that smile. She got that smile. Like she said,
Y'all are
well,
so
she.
silly.
She remember she said, well, and we'll see you
You're
in the
like,
spring.
well, that's
So
how the ball bounces. Let's move on.
All right, y'all. Let's go to the next one. So we're gonna get on something that just happened recently. If you guys don't know, Sonya Massey's murderer was recently convicted. So we're gonna talk about that for a second. So let's get into it.
A former Illinois sheriff's deputy who shot and killed Sonya Massey in her home in 2024 has been found guilty of second-degree murder, a lesser charge. Sean Grayson testified in his own defense Monday, saying he believed Massey was possibly under the influence when he responded to her 911 call about a suspected prowler outside her home. 36-year-old Massey had been boiling a pot of water at the time. Grayson said he was scared of being hit with the hot water. Jury deliberations lasted about 13 hours. They asked the judge several questions and requested to see evidence used in the trial again, including the body camera footage from the incident that we just showed you. CBS News national correspondent Jerika Duncan has been following this case for us in court.
Yeah, emotions were running high both inside and outside of the courtroom after the judge read that guilty verdict, guilty of second-degree murder. I looked at both families, the Massey family, they were in tears, as well as Sean Grayson's family. I also noticed that Grayson didn't show much emotion. He pretty much stayed looking at the judge when he read that guilty verdict. And there was a moment, though, when the bailiffs came to handcuff Grayson. He sort of looked like he was looking for his family. His family had already left the courtroom. As for what happens next, well, that would be sentencing, and that is scheduled to happen in January of next year in Sangamon County. Back to you.
Jerika Duncan, thank you. For more, let's bring in Anna Schechter. She's the senior coordinating producer for CBS News' Crime and Public Safety. And Anna, you've been covering this since it happened.
So what do y'all think the sentencing is gonna look like? I know that they gave him second degree. So what's the max that he could get with that verdict?
They like to give people a second-degree murder 103 years, which is still in a sense life. They're like,
Okay.
oh, he'll be 100 and something, such and such. So there's really no limit on second-degree murder. But I see him getting life. They're just gonna make it something like 60-something years, which would probably make him like 96 getting out, which means he has no chance of really leaving. But it serves him right. It serves him right. This was a very unfortunate case.
I
Yeah,
said what
that's
I
right.
said, so she disagreed. She said he gonna be out in a few years.
Child.
Yeah.
See,
If
this
Trump
baby
have
here,
anything to do with it,
she
He
young.
about
See,
to get pardoned.
hey, remember that cop in Dallas that killed that what's his name, Botham guy, the black guy, the African guy, Boham or Botham or something like that. Remember, she went into his apartment and she said that she
Oh
was in
yeah,
the
yeah,
wrong
yeah, yeah, yeah,
apartment.
yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that.
Okay, that heifer got 8 years and she out right
Yes,
today. She's getting ready to get
so
married
yeah.
today. Okay, so
But
he
he lied.
well, I understand that, baby, but it's privilege here in this good old United States of America. And for Mr. Grayson, all he's gonna get is 4 to 20 years, and I assume he's gonna get 4 versus the 20.
Yeah, well, I could agree, but I would like to see him get the higher and
We
not the.
all would love to see him get that 20, baby, but he gonna get them 4 years watch and see, and he will be out, and he probably can go to another police
But
force.
it's like I saw where they'll but it wasn't a police officer, but cases of second-degree murder, you can get like 102 years, and they'll pretty much give you life in a sense. But
But that's the
now
South.
that you,
That's the South, though. He in Illinois, baby.
yeah, now that you said that,
Yeah, I'm reading it. It say
yeah,
he for Sean Grayson, a second degree murder conviction, Illinois carries a potential sentence of 4 to 20 years in prison, or he could receive probation. I figure he gonna get the latter, which is probation. And the exact amount of time served has not been determined, as this sentence is in January 29th, 2026. Under Illinois law, he will serve his sentence at a 50%, meaning the actual time served could range from 2 to 10 years in prison.
well, yeah, I hope he gets the higher, not the lesser. But
Well, baby, the most he gonna get, sweetie, is a decade.
you're right. No, I think, but at least he could do that decade. I think it serves him right to do the most
I don't think he gonna do a
possible.
day.
He'll be pardoned by next year.
Right.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think he gonna get. I think he gonna get probation personally.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I think in
I
the
think he's gonna do a time. He's gonna do a
yeah, he
certain
gonna do
amount of
some
time.
time.
Then Trump gonna pardon him after he
Hey,
do a certain
yo.
amount of time.
He gonna get less time than Puffy.
Puppy,
Yeah,
Puppy's
I
still
do
in
that.
there.
He's still in there,
I know.
and
That's what I said. They gave Puffy 4 years. They gonna give this suckers 2 years.
he still got a little bit more time to go.
And then time served. Um, let's see. Okay, so let's keep playing.
Grayson originally faced first-degree murder charges. What went into deliberations here? What were the factors that jurors were considering?
Well, the one central factor was that video that showed Sean Grayson and Sonya Massey there as it escalated. It went from 0 to 60 very quickly. Grayson became angry after Massey said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," threatened, said, "I'm going to shoot you in the face," and then fired that shot. But
she did have that pot of boiling water, and Grayson
He
testified
told
on the
her
stand that
he
he
was going
felt
to shoot
threatened,
her
and
in the
that was
face.
enough to bring the conviction down from first-degree murder to second-degree murder, which carries a lesser sentence.
Let's talk about sentencing. What does that look like possibly?
Well, it's up to 20 years, which is significantly less than 45 to life. So we'll see. Now, in court, we heard about the expectation is about 4 years to 20 years, but in the state of Illinois, he could potentially just get time served. But
Ooh, ooh.
Now look, I didn't even watch the whole video. I just read the
Well,
shit.
you
I
was
just
on
read the
something.
shit and came up with my own
You was
conclusion.
just on to something.
Oh,
Wait a minute,
Well,
he ain't finna go. He is not finna go to jail.
I
I feel
told.
like he needs to though.
Did I just
Oh,
say
we
time
all feel that way.
served? I just said he could get time. That man gonna get time served. Lord Jesus.
With a one, hey, Ben, with a 1 year probation.
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
said, less time than Puffy.
And then
Oh,
gonna be back and go right on to Dalton, Illinois, and get a job.
They would love
Harvey.
him. Man. They would
Go
love
to
him out there in
Harvey.
Dalton. They would love
Yeah,
him in
go to
Dalton and Harvey.
yeah, Dalton or Harvey and get a job. Mostly Harvey. Dalton, they kind of getting a little strict on their
No, he
police
ain't. He coming.
department.
No, he ain't. He coming to the South and getting him a job, baby.
Okay.
He
They
finna
love
come.
him out here in
Yeah,
Florida. He
yeah,
can come
yeah.
right
Oh,
here
yeah.
in
He going to
Florida
Florida. Yeah, he's going to Florida to get him a
Oh yeah,
job.
and
he'll
get him a
become
job.
chief out there.
Yeah, he could be the chief
With
and
that
Absolutely.
everything.
background, with his background. Oh,
Mississippi just arrested 20 officers.
Yeah, he can go there
That
too.
was
Yeah.
included that was included in some type of pharmaceutical sales or what have you. So he can go to Mississippi and take one of their places. They definitely had the two. They had the
They
two
do.
brothers splattered all over TV. I said, I know they was gonna put them up there.
Of course they were. You know they need a new. They need a new field of officers now. 20 off the street. He'd make the next one.
Yep, he'll go right down there and get him a job in good old Mississippi.
And you know,
Expect to see him.
Harvey, Illinois, they just laid off a whole lot of officers, so he could go right there and get a job. Bing bang. As long as he do what what's his name, Clark, tell him to do, he'd be all right. He'd get a job.
Now he leaving Illinois,
More of a
baby. He coming to the South. Trust me,
yeah,
so
yeah,
he can take
yeah.
somebody else out.
So he gonna move. Yeah, he gonna move and do
You
it
can't
again.
take him out in the same jurisdiction, in the same state.
No,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can't make it no
yeah,
habit. Can't make it look
yeah.
like it's no habit or nothing. But if you come
Right.
to the South, you probably ain't even got to go to court for that.
No.
Wait,
They'll be
wait,
like,
wait a minute.
it was on the job. It was on job injury. You know.
She raised her hand up, and he had the right to shoot.
Yeah, he feared his life, and that's all it takes.
They'll
Well,
release the redacted.
and I've realized the northern states, they have the NCIC, which is the National Crime Investigation Center, whereas the southern states don't have that. If you have the National Crime Investigation Center, then you know, wherever the officer go, you can do a background check on
No.
them.
We don't track our officers. No, ma'am. We don't do that. We don't know. We don't know if they go to the next county or not. That's how they get in office, and we don't have that kind of system.
No.
We go by word of mouth only. Word of
Word
mouth.
of mouth. Yep. They like to come down here after they, go up there and mess up. Then
Well,
they
that's
come
why I say
down
they don't
here.
have the NC, because I went for a job interview in Greenville, North Carolina, and they said, "What's the NCIC?" I said, "National Crime Investigation Center." What's that? I said, "Okay, y'all don't know about that? Okay." And I explained it to them. They said, "Oh, that's above our pay grade." I said, "Okay." So y'all don't y'all don't know nothing about. So I can come to y'all state and y'all won't know what I did
You could tell them anything.
Well,
right.
first of all, we ain't got nobody that can run the system. And
Nope.
But I mean,
second,
y'all, the
we ain't
super.
got no money for that.
What was that
Nope.
state that was that Ohio that the black superintendent got deported and really wasn't a citizen and all types of crazy
Oh
stuff. Didn't
yeah.
really have a degree and
I know
you
what you're
know.
talking about. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember what state it was, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I missed that one. I didn't see that one, y'all.
And then there was a chief of police in I think it was South Carolina, and he was a felon, and was a chief of police for a good while before they found out about him. He done crime so bad for a while with his police force that they finally shut down on him. And when they finally came down, the FBI and them did a final investigation, found out he was a felon. a two-time felon,
Mm.
and he was chief of police. But
So
they
ain't
lied
that
to
crazy?
him.
The man that was superintendent didn't even
Mhm.
have a college degree. So, and he running the school. So,
Let's say, look at her. Look at her. That's better than having. That's better than having Charlie
30,
Williams. That's better than having Charlie in charge. Okay.
Yeah.
34 count felon. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's
He better than having Charlie in charge. Okay.
uh
So,
Willie Earl. Can't have Willie
so,
Earl in charge with his degree and things. Got to have a
No,
so
criminal in charge.
got to have a
right.
criminal.
Yes.
This is the South, you guys. The northern folks who mess up their little positions up north, they come to the South,
Straight
especially
up.
Florida, Texas, anywhere in the South, nice down south, so they can come, give them a nice position, move right on up. Like they didn't just mess up what they did in the South in the same position.
And
The biggest
Florida
competition,
is very notorious for it.
very. They like to go and shoot and kill people on the job as police officers up north and come down to Florida and get a job.
that's what they put on their resume. No, I'm joking.
No, they
Yeah,
do.
no.
They have to. It has to be a requirement to get a job here,
Yeah.
especially
What's
as a
your
police officer.
what's your references? Oh,
Oh, I shot.
How
I
many
shot two
bodies?
people.
I mean, how?
I took
Okay.
about 5 of them out. Oh,
Yeah, about
okay.
5 of them.
You hired.
Maybe eight. Maybe eight on a good day. I took about 8 of them out. Oh, you're right. On
Sergeant.
the spot.
All right. That's
Sergeant,
sergeant
yup.
material.
Captain.
Okay, let's keep. We got 3 seconds left. Let's.
Not up to that 20 years.
Okay, and a Schechter.
Okay, so that was it. All right. Let's move on, guys. We got the other Sonya Massey clip to look at where her daddy
Look at her
is.
smiling. Okay, mean, but look at her ass smiling. Yeah, he ain't been no time there.
Yeah, yeah, they like that.
I'm James Wilburn. I'm her father. Sean Grayson should be able to get out of jail. My daughter can get out of that burial vault and walk out of Oakwood Cemetery. And I know that plot that's waiting for him, he can get to it as soon as he can. And it wouldn't make me any difference at all. But there's a difference in this country when you have my skin color and Grayson's skin color. We need serious justice, not a miscarriage of justice that happened here in Peoria. We need to pass the George Floyd Policing Act. We need to pass the John Lewis Voting Act. We need to make the Sonya Massey law across the whole United States. Then no family in our country can go through what our family has gone through. Because this man should have never had a badge and a gun. This man was kicked out of the service. He was in 6 police departments in 3.5 years.
Damn.
That is shameful. Shameful on Sangamon County for even having.
I wonder if he meant Calumet
Uh,
or is
hey,
it
but
Calumet?
it's Calumet. But it's still 6. Look, 6 police
Wow.
department and kicked out of the military. Now, wait a minute. You got kicked out of the freaking military? That means he has a psychic condition. If he done got kicked out of the military, kicked out of 6 police departments, that means he didn't have no psych evaluation.
Yeah, I agree.
Something is wrong with that man. That's obvious. There's something that is definitely wrong with him.
Well, he didn't
Like
need
that.
one. According to them, he didn't need one, child. But
Giving
it's
him
a disgrace. It's just a total disgrace how he was able to get hired. Now this is in Illinois, Foxy.
Right.
Yeah,
Illinois.
don't. But when I'm saying he's done been in 6 the police department, we don't even know which ones he was in, but he was in 6 police departments. But see, that's why I said a lot of places don't have that NCIC, and it's the National Crime Investigation Center, which means that it has everybody's information. Even if you did a crime or not, it still have all your information in there. I mean, all your information, even back when you was a teenager. So anything that happened to you is in that system. And if you run the NCIC on that person, you'll find out, man, because I worked it. I did it. I was the one to input and take stuff out of it. I know what's in them. And it has all your personal. When they say the FBI have all your personal information, they have all your freaking personal information. Down to when you was in high school, where you went to high school, when you went to wherever you went, they know all of it. And that's why I say they didn't, if they was run that system or that guy, they would have found out all of that information and would not hide it. But they don't have that in a lot of these police departments because
For
it
a
costs money.
reason.
Right.
It ain't about the monetary. It ain't about the cost. Trust me. All
So
right, y'all.
that's why these police officers can go from one precinct to another precinct, from one state to another state, because they don't use that system to find out what the background is for these people. Then when they go do an investigation after they do a real bad crime, then all of a sudden, oh, well, they did this and they did that.
Well,
No.
then Derek Chauvin had the same type of record.
Yes, he did. A
And you
lot of
notice
it.
it's the ones that get caught up in this stuff, they already done did it before or have a bad, have a bad background and they still harm. So,
And then go to another place, right?
yeah,
Exactly.
make that make sense.
And what they
And
do,
if
they
you
go
ask
from
me, I think they go based off referral.
I think so
well,
too. I always thought
well,
that too.
Once they get that, the bad mark on them, then I'm sure the higher up refers them to another place, and that's how they get to be able to transfer from here to there.
well, just like when Dalton, that's in Illinois, Dalton and Harvey, the chief of police in Harvey used to be a police officer in Dalton, and he was a bad cop in Dalton, and now he's the chief of police in Harvey. Well,
So the worse you are as a cop, the more of an asset you are. So they're not gonna let you go. They're gonna just move you around.
Well, it shows you got courage. You ain't scared.
Exactly, exactly.
and then plus, if you have a bad record, you're going to do whatever that chief of police or whatever that
And they're gonna
mayor
hold it
or
against you, right?
right. So they're going to go ahead. They got a job. They got some money. They still can get their pension. So I'm gonna do whatever they want me to do. They want me to shoot blacks, I shoot black. Anybody with brown skin, I shoot them. Okay, no problem. You got my back. I got your back. Okay, let's keep doing it.
Well, let's keep watching, guys.
Gun and a badge. And his gun, he had a sight on it. He had a laser sight. So all he had to do was put that laser sight where what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to shoot my daughter in the face, and he did it. He shot 3 times, but even with a laser on and going through a police academy twice, he still only shot her the once, which was good enough. But you see, my Judeo-Christian upbringing tells me to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. So my joy here today is that I know I'll see my baby again. And whenever the sun opens and Gabriel blows that horn, we're going to leave here and I'll see her again. That's about all I can tell y'all right now.
And that's her daughter back there with the braids and the coat behind him. And that guy that's rubbing his back, he look like he white.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I feel him. This man said he was going to do it and did it anyway. Said he was going to do it and still did it anyway.
And to show you how incompetent he was, like you said, he had a laser. He didn't went through the academy training twice, and still, even at the close proximity that he was at, still couldn't even hit the target. Took 3 times to hit once, but he did hit the way he said he was gonna hit, though. But yeah, it's a sad story, and I'm sure there's
And,
more police like him all
listen,
throughout the force.
and if the orange man has it his way, he's going to try to make sure that they have immunity so the police can go out here and shoot anybody they want to shoot.
Kill him dead.
Yep.
Well, hold them up on that now. The Supreme Court just did a new law, though. that said that they have to have justification and they got to have probable cause to do that, or
Brown
else
Yeah, I
they're going to
saw
skin,
be
that.
brown
or they're
skin
going
and
to
the
be held.
accent.
Yeah, they're going to be held accountable. So
That's all they
they,
need, brown skin and the accent. That's it.
Brown, yeah,
yeah.
brown skin in the accent, and they say it's an accident.
Well, they can say what they want to say, but the Supreme Court said they're going to be held accountable, and I don't care what Agent Orange say until he gets the Supreme Court to overthrow that, so they can mess around and find out if they want to. So I felt like that was a great victory that the Supreme Court even actually ruled on something like that. I think it was what 2 or 3 months ago. Lizzy, did you when we saw that? Was that a couple months ago when they made that ruling? But yeah, they're trying to hold them
Yeah, it was.
accountable now.
I want to say it was about 2 months ago. When
About
I saw
two.
it, it was about 2 months
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. So they're gonna make them. They're gonna try to hold them accountable.
But
Well,
you know, but you know what gets me is, he was trying to do that, but I sit back and look at a lot of things he's trying. Thank God for the judges because the Democrats can't change anything. So it seemed like I thank God for the federal judges because they're the ones that's doing a lot of stopping him from doing a lot of things, or postponing because otherwise ain't nobody else doing anything to stop him.
well, the next thing we're gonna talk about, guys, is gonna be what is this?
All your
Let's see. I
life, learn
think
one of
it's
the exceptional things about America is that we don't allow our military to be used against our own people. And then along comes a president who wonders why you can't shoot protesters in the legs. And here we are with American troops patrolling America.
Oh, well, I guess that's our conversation was a great segue into the next video.
Exactly.
Let's see.
Now, federal courts have largely disagreed with Trump's legal analysis, such as it is, the one that you heard there. They have halted planned National Guard deployments in both Oregon and Illinois as those cases work their way through the appeals process. There are still hundreds of Guard soldiers in Los Angeles on Trump's orders, though, again, a lower court judge said they couldn't be there, as well as in Washington, where they continue to do things like pick up litter and stand around. Now, again, most of them are stationed far from their families and livelihoods. These are Guard troops.
You got to be kidding me.
And he's telling the truth. When I got off the train Tuesday and walked out of Union Station, that's what they was doing. Exactly what you seen them doing right there. That's what they was doing in front of Union Station, picking up trash and had the little metal things that you stick in the paper. They had
Uh-huh.
that. So that's where our money is. So how's they protect? How's they stopping the crime?
So we paying our federal
Military,
military
they go
to
pick up
pick
trash.
up trash. Oh my God.
That's why I was on Martin G's show trying to tell the people on his show on the phone. I live in D.C. I see what they're doing. There is nowhere near the crime rate areas. Nowhere. I mean, absolutely nowhere near the crime rate areas. And the same goes with Chicago. They ain't in the crime rate areas there either. They are around the government buildings. That's the only thing they can protect.
Hmm. And it's all about optics, smoke and mirrors. They
Right,
make
and
it,
that's
and he all on TV. Well, we don't stop crime in Washington D.C. You can go walk down the sidewalk now. I'm like, okay, sir.
yeah, right. And I live here in D.C. and I'm telling you for a fact, that's a lie. And not one military Humvee been down here. Okay, when they first did it, they rode through D.C., do the different areas, rode through on the Humvees, waved at us, and kept going. And they've been up there around the White House and government buildings ever since. And some of them are down there in Southwest where the wharf is, where they got some of the government agency buildings down there. That's it. There is nowhere in Southeast, there's nowhere in Northeast, and there's nowhere in Southeast and Southwest in the bad areas. They are all around government facilities. And I told everybody, he's giving y'all smoke and mirrors. He is not doing anything for the crime rate. They're still shooting, killing, and doing whatever.
Well,
Now Trump's Pentagon has ordered the National Guard to create what's called quick reaction forces of up to 500 soldiers in every state and territory by January.
Those units are expected to respond to riots and civil unrest in the U.S. That's according to internal Defense Department memos reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. As one retired National Guard commander told the Journal, quote, "There is no need for this. No mission requires this. Every American, I don't care what state you're from, should understand this isn't what we signed up for." Vera Bergen-Bruin is a national security reporter for the Wall Street Journal. She's the lead reporter on the team that broke this story. She joins me now. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, so you got your hands on some documents that describe this direction from the Pentagon. What does the Pentagon want the National Guard to do?
So this is after an executive order from President Trump from August. And what it ordered was to create these quick reaction forces in every single state and territory that will just be available to basically respond specifically to civil disturbances, to public order issues, as the president has been warning about, or, he thinks it's a really big problem. And now every state is going to have these. They're going to be actually equipped and ready and trained more intensively in order to respond to civil disturbances and be ready to deploy at a really short notice.
I saw that comment that you just put up about still in the midterms, and you know what?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the next headline now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's trying to implement martial law on the coup, get them trained, get them ready, so that he already said he's going to have poll monitors at the polls. So Gavin Newsom said he's going to have monitors to monitor the poll monitors.
Yeah.
Yes, he sure did, because I knew that was going to happen. He's trying to see how the people going to react to the National Guard being in their cities. And now that he's getting approval from the people thinking he's coming in there to cut the crime rate down, he only sent them there to send ICE there along with them, to them to protect ICE, and to go to the polls to keep them from doing the midterm, to keep the Democrats from taking back over the House or the Senate. That's all this is for.
And there's also, theories that they're trying to at least get a feel of, they trying to basically kind of get a feel of the area and the machines that they're using, because there might be something even more nefarious going on as well. So we'll see what happens.
But the thing is that gets me is you take it all, okay, you're sending the military to all these different states, right? The National Guard is for to protect the United States while our active troops are overseas. So right now, everybody's not paying attention. ICE is all over the United States. The National Guard is all over the United States. Who's protecting the borders? If you got 500 to 1,000 troops everywhere besides close to the borders, that means you're opening the door for anybody to come across the West Coast or the East Coast borders. Nobody protected the borders except for the South. The East and the West is unprotected because ICE is throughout the United States. The National Guard is throughout the United States. They have to get back to their bases to get prepared for attack. You got them walking around picking up trash, and they're away from their base. They ain't even near their base. So if anything comes down, they are not able to protect the United States because they got to hustle to get back to where their base is to get their gear to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody not looking at this like, oh yeah, the National Guard going to help us with this. No, it's you making the borders vulnerable and the United States vulnerable for an attack. And you got ICE agents. You took them out of, from doing their job, from protecting the borders. So now they all through the states. You done took the FBI off their cases for gun trafficking, human trafficking, to go out here and walk the streets. And that's not what they were hired to do.
Exactly. And not to kind of go off on something that is unrelated, but what y'all think about the way this woman look? She kind of remind me of the same. It's not the same
He's
look,
so
but
I was thinking the same thing, Minion, but I said, no, we can't compare her to the same woman, but she do look like her, though.
she still give me that same energy. I get the spirit of her.
You think so she's happy about this, huh? I also feel like, guys, I feel like they try to get us used to looking at the military around the country. So when the midterms do happen and whatever they're going to try to pull, we already be used to it. And that's why he's on TV so much, because it's all about branding with him. Remember, his whole thing is branding. So if he can brand the military in all 50 states and get them there and keep them there, then, we won't think nothing of it when we go to the polls or what have you. But I want to see what these courts going to do, because it's already unlawful for them to be in Chicago, but they're still in Chicago. So let's see what these good old courts going to do with him, and see if they're going to send the martial laws, to arrest him for defying the court order. So let's see what they're going to do with him. Let's see
I
who going to
agree.
win
Let's
this
get
battle.
Pritzker. All right. Let's see what Pritzker go. Let's see how he gonna handle this. All
And
right.
I was telling the people, I said, I understand that you live in Illinois and you think that Pritzker not doing a good job, but Pritzker is keeping them from, he was fighting to keep the military out of there, because look what happened. It started more fights than it was before, and
Look,
they're fighting within the city now. They're not cutting back on the
At this
crime.
point, you just gonna have to. I get it. You may have some issues and some qualms with Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, but right now they are fighting the people that's the enemy of all of us. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just hold off on whatever little things you got against him, and let's address the big picture at hand, which is trying to prevent this nation from becoming a dictatorship. You know, those
Right.
little
And
bitty petty things that y'all have issues with, y'all can leave those until we have a democracy again.
Right, and my thing is, and I understand, but he said illegal immigrants. He said illegal immigrants. You taking people that are legal, and that's the thing I have a problem with. And the people are not realizing. Okay, those that are legal have houses, paying rent, paying for houses that they bought, and they're bringing in the revenue in your area, which means that your tax bracket goes down. But you take them out of there, that means vacant homes, vacant apartments. That means your revenue is leaving the area. That means the taxes are going to go back up, because
Yeah.
they got to
Uh,
make up for that revenue they missing. So people are not looking at the big game. They're looking at, oh yeah, get rid of all the immigrants. They were taking our money anyway. Dummies. Now the taxes getting ready to go back up, because there's nobody in these apartments, these houses. The houses are not getting built. The more houses are built, the less taxes you got to pay. The less houses that are built, the more taxes you got to pay, because there's
and
less revenue coming in.
and the more vacant houses, the more crime you may experience. So
Exactly.
you
but
got to look at the full picture.
Very
but
true.
but then in addition to that, this isn't deporting immigrants isn't a new practice, isn't something new, right? Presidents have been doing it since
But they've been doing the illegals. He's getting even
exactly Obama deported 3.1 million immigrants out of the United States.
in
Right?
8 years.
But it was not a big production. It wasn't done in the way that it's being done right now. And the reason why he's doing it using these methods, we didn't see any Black Hawk helicopters with federal agents coming down in the middle of the night with a production team recording them so that you can see them take evacuate little bitty kids, black kids, brown kids in the middle of the night with zip ties. That's not what Obama did, but he definitely deported way more immigrants. So
Yep,
I,
called
And
him the porter in chief.
right.
And speaking of the children, so Pritzker sent Christy Nomes, who was DHS secretary, Department of Homeland Security secretary. He asked her to stop with the ice for today for Halloween. You know what she told him? Oh no! If your children go trick or treat, I'm gonna pick them up. In so many words, she didn't put it like that, but she told
Yeah.
him she
how
was
do
not.
you even make sure that you even picking up the right people and everybody in
They
costume?
don't care. They don't care. They're
And see
not.
that.
They're picking up, like Foxy said. They're picking up citizens, and they don't care. People are telling them like they're American citizens, and they're arresting them anyway Because they get a bonus.
That's the
And,
point.
and it's a
That
quota. It's a quota to pick so many people up, and they're getting bonuses up to $8,000 to pick people up.
Yep,
that
and they
is the
told her.
point.
And then ICE, I watched I'm trying to find that video, so when we come back on again, I can have that video where they had 2 ICE agents, there as active ICE agents, and one that's retired, and they're saying that they didn't care if they were legal, just snatch them off the street. They're getting people with the green cards, active visas, and American citizen ID, and snatching them up anyway. He said they'll deal with that later. So just grab her anyway. I don't care if they look Hispanic, just grab them. If they look immigrant, just snatch them. And that's what they're being told. So now you know they taking up people that's still legal citizens that have gone through everything they're supposed to, been working and doing jobs, and nannies, cooks, cleaners, builders, all these things that they did, and they did the right things to be citizens of the United States, and you still snatching them up. So if they do that to them, what do you think they're going to do to us?
I tell you what, he better pardon the whole damn administration. Every
Before he get out,
application,
because
because they're
Lord,
gonna, because they doing these unlawful orders, and they're gonna be held responsible. The Democrats are already singing that y'all going to jail. So he better pardon everybody before he go.
Yeah, you better, because they sitting up there, especially her, the one that's head of Homeland Security. Her butt gonna be the main one go with her little Barbie blonde head self. You gonna be the
and
first one to go.
cockeyed cash.
Exactly.
So let's finish watching this little clip though, so we can get through. We got a couple more videos, y'all.
We do.
You know, the Pentagon does a lot of preparatory work on a million different things, right? And the National Guard can be called in to deal with all sorts of civil issues, largely after like disaster response. How different is this than how they've been employed before, according to the folks you talked to?
Yeah, so most states do have a standing quick reaction force. As you said, it's for hurricanes, blizzards, any kind of natural disaster, and they're supposed to be only called in emergencies. Or sometimes if there's really big riots. I mean, we saw this in the 60s, we've seen this in the past. In this case, it's almost like a first line of defense, right? They're kind of coming, they're supposed to be able to deploy for things that usually maybe wouldn't be considered emergencies, as we've seen happen, you know, in these cases, and trained specifically in a standardized way across the country. And the actual language was to quote, you know, against the threat of civil disturbances. And I think this focus specifically on domestic issues and specifically against, again, demonstrators, protests, riots is very different.
Right. So you've got a quick reaction force explicitly trained to be deployed against Americans, right, for civil disturbances, at the ready with a kind of lower threshold to use them. That was one of the things I got from your article, right? That this is a real break glass kind of option usually. That what they want is to kind of more routinize the use of American soldiers deployed against Americans for these purposes.
That's right. And we have to remember that.
So basically, like you said, I said what I said. They're basically trying to normalize it to us.
President in his first term, he always leaned on the threat of military force against demonstrators, against protesters. We saw this in 2020 with the George Floyd protests. And one of the things that people have told us who worked with him was that they had to dissuade him from using military force again, as, you know, trying to explain to him this is supposed to be a last resort, not, you know, one of the first things you do. And so now we're seeing that he's making it easier to do that.
We should note that we have the
That picture before that one where they showed the Capitol, that was Union Station. That's what they was doing when I got off the train. They would just walk around, just walking around and picking up trash and speaking to people and just walking around. That's all they're doing. That's where our tax dollar money is going in D.C. For them to walk around and just stand around and sit around or sit in their Humvees and get paid.
National Guard deployed, as I said, in Washington, D.C. There's 2,300 National Guard troops that are there. There are troops from Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, West Virginia, Ohio, and South Carolina, where they have been picking up trash, spreading mulch, other beautification projects around the National Mall, heavily tourist traffic areas of the city. So you've got these guardsmen who are still on deployment away from their family, doing something that looks very far, not just from emergency response or quick reaction force, but just far from anything the Guard is trained to do.
That's right. I mean, I live in Washington. We see them around. And, you know, for this president, from speaking with people inside the White House, it's pretty clear that what they want is these images, because ultimately these images of troops in the streets of, you know, kind of, just as a, guarding metro stations, guarding monuments. We get these report cards every day that say what they've done. They kind of provide first aid to some people, break-up bites, things like that. I mean, they like the idea of restoring law and order. And especially if there's going to be, like we saw in Los Angeles, a protest where they can send them in and, restore law and order. That's kind of what they're going for.
Do we know about the legality here? I mean, this idea, we've already seen the guard, you have a federal district judge in Los Angeles that said you can't do this deployment. And his order has been stayed by the Supreme Court pending arguments. A federal district judge in Oregon saying you can't deploy the National Guard in Oregon. A federal district judge in Illinois saying the same, and then I believe upheld by the appellate court. Wouldn't this would be in the same legal terrain, right?
Well, yeah, again, states are allowed to have quick reaction forces, and technically, responding to a riot or something is within their general purview. What's different, I think, is that a lot of people say this is really pushing longstanding norms against involving the military anywhere near law enforcement. They're not legally allowed to do law enforcement, but even the idea of troops on U.S. streets desensitizing the public, that's what a lot of critics and former officials say. Just seeing troops in the streets the second that there is a protest is really not usually how things are done in this country.
I rest my case. Y'all saw all those pictures you just saw with D.C., and that's all they're doing. And that's why I said that's our tax dollar money. 500 National Guards walking around, I call it Upper D.C., where the crime rate is, there's no National Guard walking around. It's all around the government buildings. We're just walking around. Okay, they're getting first aid, they're breaking up fights. What else? What else is there for them to do? Nothing. So that's where our tax dollars are going. This man is spending tax dollars. But you did those to try to cut back on him spending, but you're spending all this money for 500 troops to be there in D.C., to just walk around and pick up trash.
Yep, and then the next thing that he's doing is, so that's a good segue because we have military guards that are just going against their own people, basically, in the cities. But then we also have him going against the ships and vessels on the seas and not knowing who it is that he's targeting and not even caring. He just playing Russian roulette out here.
I'm sorry, just laughing. You talking about on the seas?
And then he said, look, and he said, if they come near the border of the United States, he's gonna kill them dead.
I feel like it's almost like this is a video game to him. Like that game that you see on the commercials. I mean, on the YouTube commercials where as they come in, you got to shoot them dead. That's what he's playing with these people.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty. And the thing is getting me is that you're doing this like Call of Duty, but the thing is you don't even know if they're criminals or not. You're just shooting the boats down. And what happened to the Coast Guard? What's their job? If you shooting them down, where the Coast Guard comes in?
The Coast Guard better not getting away either.
They all going to jail. Those are war crimes. You going to jail.
Yeah, it's madness out here. But let's look at the video. And
U.S. military has attacked another alleged drug-carrying boat in the Caribbean. This morning, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth wrote on X that 6 people were killed overnight in a strike on a boat that he said was operated by Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. He did not offer evidence to support that claim. It is the 5th time this week and the 10th time overall that the U.S. has struck a vessel that it says was involved in drug trafficking. At least 43 people.
How much you want to bet he done played that video on repeat by 11 times?
Did you hear us say 10 times, though? And we're just now hearing about it? They done did this 10 times.
And if you look at the boat look empty, except for maybe one person, how you go out on the water and you got a speedboat. That's what it looked like.
Right.
Exactly. It don't even look like any type of boat that could carry any considerably amount of nothing.
A missile. You had to go. I mean, come on now.
Say, baby, we're gonna have to open up Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo Bay finna come back open. Watch and see.
Oh my God.
And if you look at the boat, play it back a little bit, roll it back a little bit. If you look at the boat, it's empty. It's no, you don't even hardly see the person guiding the boat.
Offer evidence to support that claim. It is the 5th time this week and the 10th time overall that the U.S. has struck a vessel that it's
I meant to get
is
it
involved
while
in
it
drug
was.
trafficking.
There you go, right there. Look at that. Now, how many people you see on that boat?
Ooh, that look real dangerous. I wouldn't
Right.
trust that at all.
Wait a minute. You got that one person doing the back, doing the motor in the back. Where's the rest of the stuff? Where's the drugs? Where's the people? Where all that? It's an empty boat
Right.
with one person on it.
That man was just going sightseeing, fishing and shit, and they gonna kill them just cause he trying to go get some fish.
Right.
I wonder how many points you think they got for this one. Cause
A whole missile to take him out.
they probably over the got him.
He
And we
used a whole missile, like you said, a whole missile
yeah,
to
to
shoot
take
this
this
one
one little
little bitty
man out.
boat.
But at the end of the day, we never get to see the situation room no more. Where the hell is the situation room where they all surprised when they have
Yeah,
a
when they
mission?
cheering,
When they got
yeah.
a mission. Remember that picture with Obama and Hillary Clinton when they got Bin Laden? How everybody was
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
nervous and looking funny and
And then
scared,
they
old pins
yeah.
and needles and shit while they was in
Could
the
you
cave.
imagine them doing that over this little bitty boat?
Baby, they probably
Everybody
been.
on pins and needles.
I don't even know if they be in the situation room when this kind of mess happen. I think homeboy probably be looking at a satellite in his private dining room or upstairs in his bedroom while Hicks says fire these missiles off on people, and it's only for his entertainment value only.
Trump probably be pressing the button by himself.
But look,
You think he
but
pressing the buttons, Minion?
but look at the boat.
he
It's
know they
empty.
gonna blame himself anyway.
Right, but the boat is
They
empty.
can't.
And you don't even see no pallets, no nothing. So how much drugs do you think is on that boat that empty? How much
You know,
drugs,
you
y'all?
know what they said? They said, look, they had it somewhere under a hidden compartment in which they can't actually see.
That boat, I know those type of boats. That ain't that much room. So how much drugs you think is on that boat? Okay, let's say that little dark spot is
That
the
little
cover.
brown spot.
So how much drugs you think? If they gonna do some real drug smuggling, that whole boat gonna be loaded.
It should be.
And it's gonna turn
Right.
over. Look how little and flimsy that boat is. But that boat barely can carry that man.
Right. So that's regular boats that you see out here in the harbors. This is not no boat. Okay, drug smuggling boats are bigger than this. Drug smuggling boats are bigger than this because they're gonna have a
This
lot
lower
of drugs.
level.
This is this ain't even lower level. This is crumbs.
Hey, they done killed this man
this
for a 20.
personal
Hey,
use.
Minion, they done killed this man for $20 sack.
It's personal use.
Buddy got a $20 sack. They got a $20 sack and
He got hit with a
they
$20
just took him
million
out.
missile to take out a $20 sack. Lord, what are we
But think
doing?
about it. This is the
How
type
much
of
you think
boats.
that missile cost that we shot this man with?
It was
Oh,
more
At
than that
least,
$20 sack. I can tell you that, and
I
it's
said
not
at
funny,
least
y'all. I
50,000.
mean, I'm not laughing at the situation. God bless this man's family, but just the ridiculousness of it all.
right. That's
It's
the
just
thing
the
I'm laughing at.
ridiculousness of it all.
Yeah. You know, because I mean, even
It's
Stevie
like a
Wonder can
movie in
see.
real life.
This is like Stevie Wonder. You can see this. That ain't
Yeah.
that no drug smuggling boat. Talking about it was a compartment that was hidden. Okay, these boats right here. I bet my uncle had boats, and he had one something like this. It ain't the compartment ain't but so deep on these boats right here. A motorboat don't have a deep compartment to carry. Come on, y'all. If they're gonna really do
He
some drug
said you won't
smuggling,
be using your personal stash here, sir.
but that will all be on there, the personal stash, because the real smuggler's gonna have a bigger boat.
That's
That's
what.
why.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Yeah, the
But they're
personal
gonna have
cash.
look. But you think about it, they gonna have bigger boats. Drug smugglers gonna have a bigger boat. That's why the Coast Guards have huge boats because of that.
My thing
Because they
is, obviously, this vessel does not have. I mean, it's not capable of having like a missile launcher
Why is
or
you calling
anything.
this? Why is you calling this this rowboat a damn vessel? This is not a ship.
Obviously, this little canoe.
There you go.
Yeah, my opinion. I was gonna say
this,
that too. This little canoe.
this little
Yeah, this
canoe
canoe. Yeah,
ain't even got no fire or it
right.
can't it ain't even got no you know how they have the little guns, the
Damn,
automatic guns that it can
damn
shoot.
paddle boat.
It ain't
This
got
is a
no.
paddle boat. This is a paddle boat in my opinion.
exactly a paddle
There's
boat.
no I mean, you talk about excessive.
And
That's
I'm like,
excessive.
this is just a motorboat. This is just a
Even if it
motorboat.
did have drugs on it, and let's say they were saying that it had whatever, it still didn't require a missile. I don't think it did.
It did not. That's why
They
you
could
have the
have. Couldn't
Coast
they have
Guard.
used a drone?
I would say it
No,
didn't require a missile. Of
Yeah,
all
it didn't
things.
require.
I feel like a drone would have just took this right on out, and it would have been just fine with a drone. Yeah, if you just got to take it out, but a
Right.
whole
Wait a
missile.
minute. No, the Coast Guard boats, the smaller Coast Guard boats are bigger than this one.
I'm about to say, yeah, the Coast Guard could have just surrounded that boat. That's all they needed to do.
Exactly. And the Coast Guard boats, they're smaller boats, motorboats, can catch up with this boat and stop it.
Now,
So
what if they would have did that, and this black thing would have lifted up, and a big, and a big old missile launcher would have came out and took all of them down. So you know what? Maybe he was just being precautious.
Maybe. I
Do
don't
not
know.
give
Maybe.
them no ideas, minion, please.
please,
No.
please don't give them
But
no idea.
if there was room in here for a missile launcher, then of course where would the drugs be? So either way, there's holes. But I get it. He was just trying to be precautious, y'all.
He wasn't being precautious. He was just being stupid.
That's right.
He was just he was just abusing his power.
You
That's
guys
all it
have
is.
seen the animated movies where the big missiles that are bigger than the boat come up
Mm-hmm.
out. Yeah, so it's
Nah,
But
pop.
that that's
hell no.
anime.
His ass playing Call of Duty from the goddamn go darn White House like a mug. That's what this
Right,
is. This is Call
right.
of
Wait a
Duty
minute.
game.
Wait a minute. By the time Trump gets through, it might not be a White House. He keeps tearing down
That too.
because he. I looked at the White House. It looked like what was that with Jamie Foxx? That movie with Jamie Foxx, where they sent the rockets in on the White House and it was all torn down and one side of the White House had collapsed.
I
What was the
remember.
name of that? That's what the White House looked like right now, y'all. It looked terrible. I'm like, all them forefathers and all our ancestors that built that White House, he tearing it down on one side of it. And I'm like, you making, and you, I said, okay, we had to get used to the White House and knowing that our ancestors helped build that building. Now we got to watch you tear part of it down like our ancestors meant
Well, he
nothing.
giving y'all some relief. He putting a new wing on it that your ancestors didn't build. So he kind of give y'all some relief.
Okay,
So it won't be so devastating to you when you look at
and
it.
took away the rose garden and made that a pavement for a patio. There's no more flowers, y'all. Flowers gone, gone, gone.
Concrete pad.
Yep,
He
concrete
took that.
patio.
He took the rose garden away the first time, didn't he?
Yeah,
And put
he
all
did.
bushes and stuff up there,
Yeah, he
bushes
put
and
bushes.
grass.
Yeah.
But they turned around and
Now it's dead.
now what's his name? Biden went back. His wife went and made a new rose garden, and that's the one he paved over because his wife had it done. They took up all that concrete that they had out there before, redid the grounds, and planted more flowers. And he came back and took the flowers up and repaved it again.
All right, guys, let's keep watching so we can get through. We almost done with this. We got about 2 minutes left.
Okay, let's go on. Let's let the the canoe going about his business. Come on, let's go.
Right. Well, it's not going on by his business, unfortunately, but
At least 43 people have been killed in those strikes. This morning, the Pentagon also announced the U.S. is moving an
now see if it was something like that, I could see. That looked like a threat. That definitely
Right.
looked like a threat. But that little canoe, that canoe looked like it was about maybe what 1/20th of this thing right here.
It can only hold 4 people on that boat. It can only hold 4 to 5 people on that boat. One that steered the motor and 4 other people on it. That's all that can fit on that boat. So you blew up a boat that only had about that many. Shelley said, did they use a missile or did they use what was it? Pull it back up. Cocktail? Martel, what was it? How you pronounce it?
Let me
Martel
see.
cocktail?
What is that?
Molotov
A
cocktail.
Yeah.
Molotov cocktail.
You know how they put it in the bottle, the fire and the gas in the bottle and throw it in there and explode it.
Ain't
I
no
think,
telling.
yeah, no, Shelley, they use
Nah,
a
baby, they
missile.
used the whole missile shell. It looked like to me that was some fire that they blew that boat up with.
aircraft carrier strike group to the waters off of South America. NBC News senior national security correspondent Courtney Kube joins us now from Washington. Courtney, great to see you. What more do we know about this latest strike and the decision to send this aircraft carrier, that group, I guess, to the region?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. The numbers of strikes this week has really ticked up, and we've also seen an expansion to 2 of the strikes being in the Eastern Pacific. The one last night was the first one at night that we're aware of. And now, according to the administration, because remember, we're seeing these videos like the one you see on screen here right now. They are heavily edited. They are provided by the government, but that's really the only information that the public is getting about these strikes. So according to the administration, at least 43 people have been killed in these 10 strikes that began in early September. Now, the Pentagon announcing just earlier today that they're sending this carrier strike group, that's the USS Gerald R. Ford. It's the Navy's largest aircraft carrier. It deployed with 5 destroyers. It's not clear exactly how many of those ships are going to go along with it, but it rarely goes alone. So it will also have, in addition to the ships, it will also have a carrier air wing with it. We're talking about thousands of additional U.S. Navy sailors and Marines who will be deploying to the region in the coming days, Kate.
Yeah, and Courtney, President Trump has been making claims about these strikes on these alleged drug boats, like how many drugs are on those boats and how many lives are being saved. Can you fact check a little of that for us, or context?
Yeah, I mean, the lives being saved is the one that's particularly concerning or troublesome here, Kate, and that's because the majority of the drugs that are coming from these areas is cocaine, not fentanyl. And a lot of it is being confused between the two. Fentanyl, primarily, more than 90% of it is driven across transit points into the United States, frankly, often by U.S. citizens. So the boats that are carrying these drugs are generally cocaine. And the reality is, when you look at the yearly number of Americans who die from cocaine overdoses, it trends somewhere between 19 and 25,000, depending on the year. The president saying that each one of these boats is saving 25,000 lives. It's hard to see how that's really true, Kate.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube.
All right.
Okay, has anybody ever seen how cocaine is packed? How long those cubes are? They are big, they're huge, and they're heavy. So you telling me that size boat going to have cocaine on it that's going to harm enough people, kill enough people? That boat, we saw that boat. It didn't have no drugs on it.
Maybe that's the reason why it's usually driven, because it's too heavy, or I don't know.
But do y'all heard what they said though? The drugs are being driven across to the United States by American citizens.
Right.
They're being flown in. They didn't say anything about the planes, but it's more immigrants come in by plane. There's more drugs come in by plane and by cars. It ain't got nothing to do with the water no more. That's the old. The dementia is kicking in, because back in the 90s, yeah, that could have been a drug boat, but they don't do that no more because they got caught so much. And they know that they're being watched, so they have to do a whole new play. A
And
whole
do you
nother
know
route.
how stupid you would have to be after
Right.
seeing everything that Trump is doing with immigration and with the border and all of this to bring something across the seas? Like, nah, I don't see it. But people, desperate times call for desperate measures. You never know.
That ain't that desperate. Take my word for it. It ain't that desperate. He's just doing something because he basically he do not like any Hispanics. We get look, Hispanics are anybody that is not Caucasian. He don't like them.
Well, we almost finished with this, so let's. Oh, we are finished with this. So we got one more video on Venezuela. So let's see what this is talking about.
Here we
The Trump
go.
administration is reportedly getting ready to attack military installations inside Venezuela. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. It comes after a U.S. airstrike took out another alleged drug boat in the Eastern Pacific, killing 4 people on board. Now, the Pentagon says the boat was carrying narcotics, but Democrats are not satisfied with the intelligence and are demanding more transparency right now. House lawmakers received a classified briefing yesterday, which Democrats say provided little to no answers and did not ease their concerns that the president is abusing his war powers.
I heard no strategy, no end game, no assessment of how they are going to end the flow of drugs into the United States.
On the Senate side, Democrats are furious. They were seemingly left out of a classified briefing earlier this week, but Republicans they're challenging that.
It's not unusual for us to ask for briefings individually or as a group or, for that matter, as Republicans. Democrats do the same.
Most Republicans are standing by the president's actions. The White House has not provided any public evidence that the boats were carrying drugs, and there are legal concerns the U.S. could be violating maritime and human rights laws.
And also, you got to, oh Lord, he's breaking all kind of laws. And you got to remember, if you got a treaty law, you breaking that too. So he's breaking all kind of laws that's going to get, basically, by the time he gets through, we're going to be a third world country. Because no country is going to want to deal with us at all because we have an unhinged president. Hello, anybody else still here?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay, because
Yeah.
it looked like everybody was just looking at me. I'm like, what did I do?
Well, we didn't know if he was finished or not, man.
Yeah, but we're going to end up being a third world country because of all these attacks that he's doing that, that's uncalled for, and all the things he's doing, he's not really paying attention to our borders like he's supposed to. You're not paying attention to the real crime rates that's going on. You hitting little separate boats. You ain't really dealing with the big drug, the drug trafficking.
Well, it looked like he want to try to go to war with Venezuela, and we do have a treaty with him. Um, we signed a treaty with them in 1978 and in 1999. We did an income treaty with them. So at the end of the day, thank you, Shelley C. Good night. Um, at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. These are war crimes, and once again, he's not going to be in office forever. So everybody that's doing all these allegedly crimes for him, they just better watch out. I don't care if you're in the military or not, because the military serves the Constitution. The president do guide them, but they still are bound by the Constitution. Everybody is. And so whether you're head of a department or not, you still have to abide by laws or what have you. So once again, this dude is not going to be in office forever. And, I just foresee a bunch of people that's going to be getting in trouble. And they better hope that he remember to pardon all of them, because they're going to definitely need some pardons.
And also, you got to look at the crime rate. Okay, you remember now, the ICE is for to deal with the borders in regards to drug trafficking and stuff like that. That's what ICE's job was. The ICE was created during Homeland Security in 9/11. During 9/11, that's when ICE was created. So that was their job, is to guard the borders for this such thing. You got them all over the United States instead of guarding the border. So now look what's happening. Then you try to go to war with Venezuela. Venezuela said that he's going to war with them because he wanted to send the Hispanics, more Hispanics over there. He said no, he ain't sending no more over here. So that's his way of paying them back. Because they said, no, you ain't even paid us for the ones you got over here.
Well, I
Well,
hope.
go ahead. All this stuff is crazy, senseless, deranged, unhinged, and I guess this is what America voted for.
Yeah, it's a real movie taking place in real life.
Well, like you said, I said what I said. This is what is it? Call to duty. He's called to duty.
Yeah.
He playing. He playing the game. He been watching. Look, he been watching playing the game with his son. So he done learn how to play Call of Duty. So he's doing it now. So he's a TV star. So he don't know nothing else. He's the second TV star we done had in the White House. First one was Reagan.
The truth of the matter, though, is that, as much of a TV star as he is, and as much of a reality TV show as this appears to be, this is real life, and this is our real freedom that's at stake. So,
Hmm.
um, I
Well,
just,
I just think dementia. I just keep thinking dementia because a lot of these choices are unhinged, not rational, not even lawful.
right.
And why nobody is trying to invoke the 25th Amendment, and why are they just allowing this guy to tear the country up the way that he's tearing it up and divide the country up? And um, how much power and money do you actually need to even care about the country? That's my final word on that.
It's about the power. It's about the money. They don't care about nothing. If you listen to the Republicans in the House, they don't even sound like they got common sense. It's whatever it is what it is. They ain't even talking about. You heard the guy said, we do debriefing and they do debriefing separate from us, and that's nothing unusual because they justifying everything he does. The Republicans are saying, okay, as long as you keep paying me and giving
Hmm.
me power and giving me money and keep me in clicks with the, how I can make more money, I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay. And he's already got it where the people in that cabinet, when they walk in the room, when he walk in the room, they got to stand up and tell him how good he look. Hello, Mr. President, you look good today. How you doing? They got to
So,
tell him how good he look before they can even sit down. If they don't say how good he look, he make them leave the room.
so they gonna have to go to hell too after all of this
Yep.
for
All of
lying,
them that's in,
for
all
lying
them in the, yep. All them in the cabinet have to
Through
tell
their
him he
teeth.
look good.
through their teeth.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is the biggest heist that we've ever seen right before our eyes. I can say this much in America, the biggest heist in America, and it's right before our eyes, and it appears that nobody have enough you know
Gall.
gall or ball or whatever you want to put it.
Right.
Nobody have enough
Courage or
courage
whatever,
or
however you
whatever.
want
Yeah,
to
and
care.
we sit up here under the guise of the damn Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Well, look at look. Okay, what's his name? The richest man in the world. He done got his money and rolled the hell out. He said, "Fuck y'all, bye." I
Who,
got my
Elon.
money.
Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos?
Elon Musk, he got his
Elon
money and
Musk.
rolled
Yeah.
out. He came in, destroyed the government, and rolled out.
Well, we gonna keep an eye on everything that's going on, guys. We plan on reporting it. Whether or not the people who come in want to hear it or not, that's it's a different story. But we either way, we do want to hear you guys' opinions. We don't care if you guys disagree with us. We can all agree to disagree, and we can all disagree respectfully. So if you have opposing views, please put it in the comments. If you guys want to add to the conversation, please go ahead and put it in the comment section as well. But that is pretty much, we've had a long show. We've talked about a myriad of things. Like we've talked about Gayle, from Gayle to Prince Andrew. Well, no longer just Andrew, no Prince. What is he now? A Duke or? or whatever
Ain't
he
even
is.
a Duke. He ain't even Duke.
He a
He just
man.
Andrew.
Oh,
He
He
just
just
Andrew.
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 Just Andrew.
All right, so
Hey,
we did
not even that. His damn name Andy
Drew.
now. He
Look,
got either
okay.
Drew or either Andy.
He give me more of a Drew.
He ain't even got a title no more. He just a name now.
Hey, come here, boy. Um,
Yeah, they probably told him, go by your middle name too, so people won't know who the hell you is.
right. We've talked about, of course, what is the smoky eyed sociopath JD Vance
Uh-huh.
and Charlie
Cheating on
Kirk's wife. Yeah, the
yeah, cheating on
scandal.
him. Cheating on his wife right in front of the whole United States. Now that's creepy.
That's the reason why they be saying that he be beating on his wife.
Child, he go to the portal. Don't worry about it.
All right, and then what else have we talked about, guys? It's been a show full of a lot of stuff.
Oh, we talked
Yes,
about
it has. It
Venezuela
has.
boat. We
But it's
talked
been
about
enjoyable.
Snap.
Liz, Liz, you
SNAP
still there?
benefits.
Lizzy.
Well, maybe she had to step away. But we talked about the
Oh,
SNAP benefits. We talked about Sandra. What's her?
Massey, Sonya
Massey. Yeah,
Massey.
talked about Sonya Massey.
and
Yeah,
Gayle King.
yeah, Gayle King and
So, guys,
Sonya
if y'all
Massey.
have any topics that y'all think that y'all want to hear us talk about, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section. We definitely will be reading it. But we're gonna go ahead. Do you guys have any final words so we can go ahead and move to the credit section? Oh, also, guys, what did y'all think of our intro video? Let us know if y'all
I
like
think
that
you should play it
intro.
again. Play it again because I don't think everybody got to hear it.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
play it again, Sam.
So before I play this again, guys, me and the team, we worked on this for a very long time, and we're actually working to get better with the AI. So if y'all don't tune in for nothing else, y'all definitely need to tune in for what we plan on doing with AI moving forward. And of course, we want to import some of that knowledge to y'all. So stay tuned for that. But without further ado, y'all, take a look at our little intro video that we did.
And let us know what y'all think about it.
No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record. Yeah, we keep it real. No filters here, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on. We talk that talk in our own way. Off the record. Minion the God, let's go. Foxy to Roxy, 3 she go hard.
I swear on everything that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard. Lizzy with the facts, she never miss. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. Nah. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzy drop a seat, it'll never be the same. Never. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. Energy, yeah. This the realest show you ever saw. On the record. We said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. record.
All right. All right. All right. All right. So look, I see the sweetest
Yeah.
life talking about you better dance, okay? She said
Yeah.
the blood in the throat. That is too
Girl, I can't move like
funny.
that for real in life. That's the
That
beauty of AI, baby.
AI is a beast,
Yes,
okay?
yes,
She
yes.
said she's gonna get Mama Alice to
Get
get
one of
one of
these.
these.
Yeah. But yeah,
So you know,
I love our intro. I really
I do
truly
too.
love it.
do y'all like the music, guys? Let us know what y'all think. We want y'all honest opinions because we really like the song too, you
I
know.
was
But
I was just jamming. I had it on mute and I was just jamming, singing along with it. Off the record, I was dancing in the house.
oh, speaking of dancing, we haven't even showed out for the people, did we? We're gonna have to do it
Oh, we
again.
showed it. We were so enthralled with this.
All these topics.
Yeah, all these topics.
We gonna have to put on the show for y'all next time because you know we we got excited about with the show, but we also excited about what our little avatars can do now too. So well guys, we do appreciate y'all being here with us. We about to go into the credits
Yeah,
and
the sweetest life said that. She said the intro and the song is fire.
awesome. I love that. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Shanice.
And cross country
Cruiser.
cruiser said, look, you see them dancing 100
Yeah.
thumbs up, dancing in the 100.
Okay,
So they
we got a
like it.
few votes on the song. Couple votes.
Well, we're gonna play the song again in the credits, and we're gonna keep talking on our way out.
You know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record. Yeah, we keep it real. No filters, here we truth on display. Come on. We talk that talk in our own way. Off the record. Minion the guy, let's go. Foxy to Roxy, 3 she go hard. So hard. Lizzy with the facts, she never miss. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzy drop a seat, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. We said what we said. Cross the records. Yeah. Yeah. We said what we said. The record.
Foxy bring the fire, Minion got the facts. I said what I said, yeah, no taking it back. It's truth with a twist and we had a little mess. But don't get it twisted, we still say it best. This ain't your mama's news, it's off the record. Unfiltered, unbothered, undeniably